Number of Forest players involved tonight. Is this likely to affect them? Is it going to be on their minds at all? Their manager won't be there, or their old manager won't be there. When they get back, it'll be a new one already.
Well, it certainly would have been a talking point coming into the game, but the magnitude of this game for both teams, I think they'll shelve any club commitments and concentrate fully on the game. And
I know you were on TalkSport earlier discussing what's happened at Nottingham Forest, but for those who haven't heard that, a brief take please on Nuno going, Ange Postecoglou coming in at your old club.
Yeah, I think the fans had a real sense of love for Nuno, and I think he got Nottingham Forest, as did Steve Cooper before him. So Forest have lost two managers that they admire greatly, I think, and supported well. Forest now have just got to get behind Ange, support him like they always do with their managers. And as I say, I enjoy watching Ange's team play. I think it'll be a slight sea change from what they've been used to, the counter-attack style that Forest have played. But it's fantastic. We've got the game Saturday and we've got a beautiful opportunity to have a look at Forest at Arsenal.
Yeah, it's live on TalkSport, Arsenal Forest. And I actually think, just quickly on this, before we go back to this game in front of us tonight, that Ange Postecoglou's got a big decision to make this weekend, because some of his players, as we've just discussed, won't be back until late in the week. They won't be back training. So how many sessions will he have with his first 11 with his first team squad in order to implement anything new that he might want to implement before Saturday?
The answer is one Friday morning, and at that stage you're not doing too much physically on their legs. It'll be an introduction period. Listen, hopefully he'll be there for a number of years. He's got a European campaign ahead of him as well to focus on. But exciting times, I think. You know, Forest will just have to embrace that. The chairman's decided, the owner's decided to have a change. And as far as the club are concerned and the fans, they'll get behind Ange, no doubt about that.
Yeah, they're in the Europa League, and they've just taken the Europa League winner from last season as well. They are putting the names and pictures of the players on the big display screen away to our right, hence the noise that you've been hearing, some boos for England players. The England fans are down to our right. They've been bussed in. The buses, as I understand it, for England fans who've made their way to this game, the buses have been working okay and the queues have been moving outside, but I think there's still some fans still to come inside this stadium. Listen, we just heard the Serbian angle on it, Stuart Pearce. Are you expecting a slightly more open game tonight, or the way Serbia set up, could that kill it again?
No, I think they'll have to be more forthright, being at home, being the home nation, and this could be the game that they look at Serbia to say, look, if we're going to win the group here, we're probably going to have to beat England tonight. As far as I'm concerned, I think England will win the game this evening. I think that will suit England, not playing against a team that are banked up behind the ball with no inclination at all of playing the game in England's half, really. So I think it'll be a good game, an open game today.
Interesting one for Harry Kane, who didn't score against Andorra, and Thomas Tuchel said last night in the press conference, I don't worry about Harry, he's ready to score in every game, and number 9 is in the middle of traffic, in the middle of a low block, means he won't have as many touches. I'm happy for him not to go deep, so he just wants him to stay up front. What do you think of that?
Well, Harry's rely on those wide players delivering the ball to him. Both of our goals, as we pointed out, come from crosses. So he needs those players out wide to not mess around with the ball, one-on-one go past someone, but make sure you deliver the ball. He's got a supplementation as well from Declan Rice, who's playing further up, that got his goal a couple of days ago, and you've also got Morgan Rogers hovering around that area. So I fully expect the ball going out wide, early deliveries, and 3 of our players between the goalposts, and one of those being Harry Kane. His goal record goes before him.
Well, the players are making their way down that infamous tunnel on their way to, it looks like an old Nissan hut, doesn't it, away to our left behind the goal, but they will emerge from very shortly. Some of the subs have already come out. In fact, the players on the way out now. The subs have come out already. Alexander Mitrovic, who surpassed 100 caps recently and will receive a presentation on the pitch very shortly for that. He has come out, and big love for him from the Serbian faithful. They absolutely adore him as he came out. That presentation will be made very shortly. We are 8 minutes away from kickoff, live on TalkSport. It is Serbia against England, and let's just make it clear that winning this really puts England in total and utter control. It doesn't necessarily mean they have qualified mathematically, not at all, but they are absolutely in pole position with a win against Serbia here in Belgrade tonight, as the officials head the party that's coming out from that tunnel away to our left. Seems to be a lot of time being taken for them to make their way out onto the pitch. It's very stop-start down there at the moment, and that's got the fans in full voice as well. Darkness has fallen around Belgrade above us here in this part of the world. In the Balkans, 2 floodlight towers opposite us as well. Glaring lights beaming out from them, and the lights above the stand, on the roof of the stand above us, are directed at the pitch as well. And we can see, because of those lights, the players making their way out towards the middle, where the Serbian players will stand behind their flag and the England players will stand behind their flag as well. Alexander Mitrovic, well loved in these parts, hence the presentation, surpassing 100 caps. Actually got a hat-trick in his 100th game for his country. That was against Andorra in June. This, his first game in Belgrade since then. He's familiar to English football fans, of course. 10 years since he joined Newcastle from Anderlecht. And then at Fulham, he twice hit double figures goals in the Premier League season, and 3 years ago absolutely smashed all scoring records in the Championship. 43 in 44 games was absolutely jaw-dropping. As the players line up, Mitrovic on the bench tonight, of course, but the players line up straddling the halfway line as we prepare for the anthems to be sung. The first will be that for England, and that is God Save the King. The presentation just being made before the anthems, hence the applause ringing around the stadium. Alexander Mitrovic, who I think the Newcastle fans loved him, but they were letting go to Fulham, where he became a real hero, and is now playing in the Saudi League, of course. He got 14 in 24 in the last Premier League season in his career for Fulham. By the way, if you want entertaining, England under 17 showed the way earlier today in terms of entertainment. It's winning 7-5 away to Germany. Chelsea's Ryan McQueen scoring 4 of those goals, assisting 1 as well. So the love has been shown for Mitrovic, and now we get to the anthems, and we start with God Save the King. In fine voice for the anthem, and getting straight into an England song as well. Now the Serbian national anthem, God of Justice. Sports Bar tonight is O'Hara and Cundy from 10 after we've got reaction here in Belgrade to this game. And this is the game they're going to be talking about on their show. So to another qualifier for next summer's World Cup. And so far, it's a campaign full of flawless results, but full of flawed performances. Another 3 points for England on the road to the USA next summer is the priority. But we want to be entertained along the way. Is that possible? Serbia against England, live from Belgrade with your team, former England captain Stuart Pearce, alongside TalkSports England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you, and a very good evening to you from the heart of Belgrade, some 1,100 miles to the southeast of London. This ageless city, the size of Birmingham, that predates the English capital by more than 300 years, overlooked by the Beogradska Triava, the old fortress at the confluence of the Sava and Danube rivers. It's a city of huge strategic importance to ancient empires and one that will tonight provide the first true barometer of England's genuine progression under Thomas Tuchel. So much has happened in the 15 months since the last meeting. On a sultry, stormy Gelsenkirchen night at the Euros, 2 changes of manager and a wholesale reconstruction of the squad, to the extent that only 5 of the 14 men who featured for England that night are here this evening. Are the Three Lions any closer to silverware? Well, right now it's difficult to answer that question with anything more than a qualified maybe. For Serbia, very little is different. Same coach, same formation, pretty much the same players. Intensity at the Rajko Midic Stadium makes this a far cry from that previous meeting in Germany's industrial heartland. Tonight, for England, they need to play the opposition and not the occasion. Taking 6 points off Serbia is the passport to the World Cup. 4 would be enough if they can win in Latvia in between the 2 matches against the Eagles. So England have Pickford in goal, a back 4 of James, Concert, Gahey and Livramento, then Anderson, Madueke, Rogers, Rice and Gordon, with Kane up front. Bournemouth's Georgi Petrovic is in goal for Serbia in a 3-4-2-1 that will be a 5-4-1 without the ball. Irakovic, Milenkovic and Pavlovic at centre-half. Nedeljkovic returns to right wing-back. Maksimovic, Lukic and Birmancevic, with Ivan Ilic partnering Sivkovic behind Vlahovic up front. But before the game starts, there will be a minute's silence for Dobrivoje Tanasijevic, better known as Dan Tanner, former chairman of Brentford, as well as being an official with both the Serbian FA and Red Star Belgrade. And he will be remembered at his old home ground now.
We kindly ask you for a moment of silence to pay the last respect to one of the most loyal ambassadors of Serbian football in the world.
A tribute to Dan Tanner. And how great that it was immaculately observed by both sets of supporters. England in all white tonight. Serbia used to play in red. These days they play in all blue. England will be kicking from right to left, defending the end of the ground that houses their support. The most arduous pre-World Cup test of Thomas Tuchel's reign. Serbia away, where an eye-catching win could reset perception and set the tone for the 10 months ahead, but where more of the same could increasingly polarise opinion. It will be England that will get us underway. Just waiting for the signal from the French referee Clément Turpin, and England with the kick-off go from Rice all the way back for Pickford, who controls it. England rushed forward towards the edge of the Serbian penalty area. There's the first long ball boomed in by Pickford towards the edge of the penalty area and cleared by the Serbian back line. Well, Thomas Tuchel has talked about the fact that he wants to go from back to front more readily, more quickly, long throws, set pieces. And there was the earliest possible illustration of that with Jordan Pickford launching it long. Get it back that little bit deeper, work it out towards Tino Livramento, who ordinarily would prefer to play at right back, but starts at left back for the first time for his country today. Stumble in the midfield from Anderson, but he's got away with it, sliced it away from Vlahovic, and England are able to pick it up at the back with Mark Gahey. We're a minute in, I'm delighted to say. Alongside us, as always, England legend Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, fantastic occasion tonight. It's a great opportunity for England to really put on performance. More importantly, win this game and put the group near enough to bed, I would say personally. But England, great opportunity here. Ball out wide, free kick given for a foul on Madueke. And England, first opportunity to pop the ball in the box from a wide area.
There's Madueke winning that free kick out on the touchline. By the time it's spotted the ball down, though, it's near the edge of the penalty area and almost halfway in from the right-hand touchline to the edge of the penalty area. Madueke waits unmarked near the edge of the box. England have got 5 in that penalty area, hoping to get on the end of this Declan Rice delivery. No Dan Burn in the side, but plenty of height nevertheless. Serbia with everybody back inside their own box. Very positive start from England in the opening couple of minutes here in Belgrade. Can Declan Rice get this first set piece on the money? Raises his left arm above his head. The answer is no, he can't. The ball in far too low and flat. It's cleared straight back out to Rice. And Rice will retreat briskly inside his own half before laying it back for Pickford.
How disappointing is that? I think the Serbs have been quite subservient in their start to this game, and we've got a brilliant opportunity, and Dec, unlike him, got his lines all wrong and hit the first man.
Here's Konsa at the back for Jordan Pickford, who coming into this has not conceded for 540 minutes since Pavlidis' winner at Wembley. 6 clean sheets in a row. Serbia's defensive record pretty impressive as well. They've kept 3 clean sheets in a row. Neither of these teams have conceded a goal within this qualification campaign so far. England having scored 8 and Serbia 4. England building again with Anderson, well worthy of a second consecutive start today. Forward towards Madueke, beating his man. He's got round the back of Birmancevic, who's lent into him. Pushes him to the ground. No hint that was a penalty, just good strong defending. Madueke turns and looks at the French linesman to complain about having his shirt pulled. Well, there's a goal kick that will be taken away to our left-hand side by Bournemouth's Georgi Petrovic with 3.5 minutes in. You're with Talk Sport, and it's Serbia nil England now.
Yeah, Jim, I'll take that all day long from Madueke. Received the ball, one-on-one situation, push and run. He certainly showed a clean pair of heels there, just overrun it eventually. But why the Serbs are rocking on their back feet, it's important that England keep a tempo, set a tempo, and keep driving at them.
Morgan Rogers has won it back. He lays it back for Declan Rice. I don't think Serbia have had a meaningful touch of the ball in England's half, let alone the final third so far. But the other side that like to counter-attack, getting the ball forward towards Vlahovic. It's England that are in possession here with the blonde-haired Gordon, who's coming for Rashford today, working the ball through the midfield, out towards the right-hand side for Madueke, who's dropped the shoulder, trying to take on his man on the outside, lays it back instead, an opportunity for Reece James to deliver that he's passed up. He's played it that little bit deeper. Rice can take over, trying to get away from Zivkovic. He's playing as one of the inside forwards in the 3-4-2-1 formation that Serbia have switched to tonight. Seen very much as a defensive-minded change from them, just trying to get bodies behind the ball. Ball swept in from the right-hand side, and again volleyed away by the Serbs on the edge of their own box and straight out of play for an England throw. And barring a goal, I don't think Thomas Tuchel could have asked for too much more from this start. England on the front foot, and far and away the greater attacking entity inside the opening 5 minutes on a very, very hot night. Hotter tonight than it was yesterday here at the stadium. The temperature's still up in the mid-20s. The darkness has long since fallen, but it was a cloudless afternoon and stifling in terms of temperature. Very little breeze around. Here's Elliot Anderson, 15 outside the penalty area. Ball swung in from the right-hand side, just a little bit too hot for Gordon, and knocked away by Kosta Nedeljkovic down the right-hand side. Gordon gets it back. Neat little 1-2 involving him. Back from him for Elliot Anderson. Reece James coming into a more central position. Anderson's got it again to his left-hand side for Declan Rice. Anderson to Rice again. It opens up for a right-footed shot, which was brisk, but he couldn't get it either side of goalkeeper Petrovic, and it's a comfortable save.
Yeah, I think in time gone by, Jim, we had an England team that couldn't dominate the ball, and I'm talking about going back a number of years now. Now all of a sudden we've got a team that can dominate the ball, can look comfortable in possession of the ball. We need to make sure we couple that with being effective and putting the ball in the box.
Serbia's first long ball forward caused problems for Konsa and Gay here. It was a slight miss kick. Vlahovic trying to get on the end of that. just ran away from him, and as he tried to then win it back, he caught Reece James. Give England a free kick 20 yards outside their box, but bearing in mind that they've hardly had a touch of the ball in England territory so far, that first one threatened to cause problems with the defensive slip.
Yeah, it certainly did, and I've got to say, I don't think it was a free kick at all. Vlahovic has gone in, slid to ground, won the ball, and unfortunately for him, he was adjudged to a foul.
Now Nolly Madueke is flagged offside on the England right. Earlier today, the Republic of Ireland losing 2-1 in Yerevan against Armenia, which is a blow to their hopes. The other game in that group underway, Hungary against Portugal, still goalless. We'll keep you updated. In Group D, Azerbaijan and Ukraine drew 1 each. Romania with an early lead against Cyprus, and Norway already a goal up at home to Moldova. An Erling Haaland assist rather than a goal there. And Wales against Canada, 0-0 in Swansea. Details throughout the course of the evening, with the Serbs in possession inside their own half. They've won it back relatively cheaply. Nedeljkovic with an opportunity to try and bring it forward. And then checks back. The young Villa player is just got into double figures in terms of first-team appearances for the Midlands club, and he's out on loan at Leipzig at the moment. Big night for him, being recalled to the side on the right-hand side. 8 gone 0-0.
Yeah, we've just seen another side of Declan Rice playing further up the pitch. One thing is him getting on the end of things in the box. The other, his ability to press the build-up. And he showed that to great effect, certainly at West Ham and with Arsenal. As I say, he's dynamic when he goes to press, and that's part of the game I think the manager's looking to improve on.
So at 10 minutes in, there or thereabouts, and it's 0-0. Let's try and take hindsight out of it. Do you like the balance of the team? Do you like the team that has been picked tonight? And this is something we can revisit, obviously, when we're doing TalkSport's daily podcast. We'll be reflecting on everything tonight. But as things stand, do you think he's picked the right team for the game?
Yes, I do. I think the balance looks right. Anderson, all the players have settled in, look very comfortable in possession. We've got a threat in the wide areas, more so at these early stages on the right-hand side. From James and Madueke, they've had more of the ball, but everyone looks more than comfortable. Looks a good balance in the side. 2 centre-halves, 2-on-1, no problem.
Now Madueke seen plenty of it. They tried to get him in again down the right-hand side of the box, and Pavlovic was forced to concede a corner as he came back, tracked his run well, and taps it out of play. First corner for England.
Yeah, really good play. Once again, down the right-hand side. We've really got a bias towards our right-hand side. We've had a lot of fruit there, and it looks as though there's a fear of the pace and the athleticism within our ranks that's putting them on the back foot. They were hoping, as we spoke about before the game, Jim, to come out and put England on the back foot, and that's certainly not been the case.
Well, Declan Rice's free kick a couple of minutes in was a poor one. Can't get the delivery right from this corner. Same 6 players for England inside the penalty area to attack it. It's going to be a right-footed away swinger from the England right. He's got Kane, the deepest of the 6, standing almost on the edge of the penalty area, making an uncharted run in here, but the defensive header at the near post got it away. Loose ball breaks for Livramento. Little 1-2 between him and Reece James. Tino continues his run up the left-hand side, passes it in towards Mark Gahey. Gordon takes over. Back for Anderson. Nice shape on that ball in which Milenkovic got away. Then Gordon will try and get himself into a shooting position on the left-hand side of the area. Can't get past the assembled blue shirts in front of him, but it's laid back for Livramento, down towards Gordon again. This is a good start. Very vigorous, energetic, high-tempo stuff from England in these early stages. Back for Anderson to Gordon. Serbia are able to push out and force England that little bit deeper, but the possession so far has been good. Of course, the bottom line is that England, with plenty of possession, as much as they're having in good areas, have to create the opportunities to go with it. And as yet, through the opening 10.5 minutes on TalkSport, they haven't really been able to do that. But it has been an assured start. It's silenced the crowd, but it feels as though it's taken the sting out of the occasion to an extent already. Anderson getting it forward to the feet of Kane, who's played here before in a Spurs side that won 4-0 on this ground against the Red Star Belgrade back in 2019. Gordon, ball into the feet of Kane, plays the way that he's facing, back for Anderson. First time ball from him out to the England right for Madueke, who's probably more concerned with where the ball's going to go next than bringing it under control. Slipped over his foot and gone out for a throw to Serbia on the left. 11 minutes, England on top, it's 0-0.
Yeah, it's a masterclass at the moment from England in possession football. As you rightly say, Jim, just need to show that cutting edge. Keep feeding Madueke at this moment in time. Reece James had the opportunity there and just turned out. I think he wanted a breather. The one thing we don't want is the Serbian defenders to get a breather.
England try to turn the screw. It's the first place to react to this England performance. Whatever happens from here on in, we'll be here on TalkSport Sports Bar, open for business tonight with Jamie and Jason taking your calls, talking all things England and talking about the other home nations as well. 3717223344, and then Stuart will be giving more of his thoughts on this England performance with a Big Al and Ali tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. UK time. If you fancy something different on your morning commute, just make sure that you check out the Chris Evans Breakfast Show weekdays from 6:30 on Virgin Radio, which you can get on DAB or by downloading the app. Possession at the moment is 85-15 in England's favour. Just one shot on target to show for it. It's a low effort which was comfortably dealt with by Petrovic. England will try and get it forward again. Played out to the right for Reece James and now back for Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, just looking at that Serbian back line, it's a dominant back line of 5 out of possession with quite a high line. That basically telling you we ain't got much pace and we're relying on the offside track. The ball over the top is certainly on, a cultured ball that holds up.
Milinkovic patrolling the defence. Fine player for Nottingham Forest, but not the quickest. Here's James. They've just dropped in that little bit deeper here with England passing it about 10 yards across the edge of the Serbian box. Livramento for Gordon. And then we'll play another positive ball rather than looking back, and then as it's turned back by Gordon, he's passed it straight to Vlahovic, and this is where the danger could come on the counter-attack, only for Tino Livramento to come back and dispossess Vlahovic near the edge of the penalty area. England's first real mistake, and Livramento's bailed them out.
Yeah, as I say, just dealt with the situation. The crowd got off their seats, get a bit excited, and it's probably their best chance of getting a foothold in the game in many ways, this counter-attack threat that they've got. But England can't turn the opportunity down of putting the ball in the box. When it goes to Madueke, if it comes back to James, he's got to put it in the box.
Here's Gordon, working his way forward up the England left. Pulls it back for Tino Livramento in defeat on the edge of the penalty area. Gordon again. Now Kane, who has dropped that little bit deeper this time and chips an exquisite pass out to the bottom right corner of the penalty area where James and Madueke try and execute a 1-2. But the whistle has gone, and it's a free kick to Serbia on the edge of their box. 14 minutes gone, 0-0 here on TalkSport. I think Elliot Anderson's heart would have been in his mouth just for a moment as he turned and played that ball under pressure blind and knocked it straight back to Vlahovic, but Livramento came back and spared his blushes. We said on Saturday that Anderson was so good, he certainly deserved another opportunity in the starting 11 tonight, but I think he already knows that this is a completely different prospect.
Yeah, without a doubt. This will be a bigger test for him and a bigger test for England. I would love to see our production, if we could get this back from London. Every time the ball goes into that area, from the penalty box to the touchline to the corner flag, that area there, if we said every time that ball goes in that area, a cross has got to follow, how many times doesn't that happen?
And Nedeljkovic ratting around on the Serbian right, lays it back for Ilic. And Milenkovic, here's Sasha Lukic, the Fulham midfielder, out of the left for Birmancevic. Just a change in emphasis tonight down that left-hand side. It's usually Kostic or Terzic who plays in that position for Serbia at left wing-back, but Birmancevic recalled there tonight, and Zivkovic, ordinarily a right wing-back, is playing as one of the inside forwards just behind Vlahovic. So that's why Nedeljkovic has come back into the team. Serbs in all blue, they've got it in the midfield again. Maksimovic wearing 5, working it forward. They're beginning, Serbia, to get a foothold in this game. England a dominant force in the opening 15 minutes. Nothing in terms of a tangible reward to show for it. Serbia sprayed the ball out towards the left. It was an optimistic pass, good vision. The execution wasn't great. It was just a little bit too high for Birmancevic. It goes out of play for an England throw. Still 0-0 here at Red Star Belgrade's ground in the southeastern quarter of the capital of Serbia here on TalkSport.
Yeah, what tends to happen in these contests, if you're the team in the ascendancy, if you don't put enough blows on the opposition's chin, metaphorically, they'll come back into the game and say, well, you're not that bad after all. And they've forced a corner. So they got a first opportunity to deliver the ball in the box.
Through the opening 15 minutes, it didn't feel as though there was any danger of the England goal at all. But now they have this corner, which will be taken on the Serbian left. That's the far side from us as they kick from left to right. And it's taken short and quickly, and England weren't expecting that. Then the ball is swung inside the penalty area, not that much too high for Pavlovic. The blonde-haired centre-half who was up to attack it. Lay back on the edge of the box now for Nedeljkovic's shot. That took a deflection, which took the sting out of it a little and made it an easy save for Pickford. No real thoughts from Jordan Pickford of getting the ball forward quickly. He's just waiting for players to push out of his penalty area and then rolls it out for Ezri Konsa to bring it forward.
As I say, no matter how much ascendancy you have in a game, if you let the opposition come into it, they're feeding off counter-attacks at the moment, Serbia, and look at a little bit of a threat accordingly.
Anthony Gordon coming in off the left. Plays it back to the centre spot. Ezri Konsa. Partnering Mark Gahey again tonight, which means that Gahey is slotted back over to his favoured left-hand side, taking the place of Dan Burn in this team. It's worked into the feet of Harry Kane. Played out to the England right-hand side for Reece James. And the ball in from him, not too bad. It forced Pavlovic off balance to get there ahead of Harry Kane. And he's headed it behind for another England corner.
Yeah, as I say, that cross come from that area of the pitch that we were talking about. England have been in that area of the pitch a lot of the time. If I was a manager at the end of the game, I'm looking to say, how many times have we got into that last 18 metres out wide and the ball's not come in the box for whatever reason? If we're going to recycle it, we need something to come very quickly from the other side of the pitch.
Boos and whistles from the Serbian supporters as England just very deliberately set things up for this corner. It's taken two Serbian headers to get it out of the penalty area. They've managed that, and then a miscue clearance goes behind square, and Vlahovic might be able to lead the counter-attack. Rice very quickly back goal side, and then a ball that is steered forward is calmly just knocked away from the edge of the penalty area. Pickford came out, England playing out very confidently and competently from the edge of their own penalty area until the move breaks down as Rice tried to knock his square for Madueke and put it straight out of play for a throw.
Yeah, fortunate on that brief counter-attack there, the one-on-one situation. It was Declan Rice who certainly got enough pace and power to stop any quick attack. I haven't seen much of Morgan Rogers at the moment. He's almost playing a role, an inside right role that's occupying the opposition. He's given his wicket up, if you like, to allow Madueke and James to have a little bit more freedom further out wide. But if he's going to do that, they've got to deliver from that right-hand side with the amount of possession they've had.
Those crossing statistics are very interesting at the moment. That England, in terms of passes in the final third, have had 74 to Serbia's 10. And they've been highly accurate. But in terms of crosses, they've been 8, and not a single one has found its man. England none out of 8 from crosses at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've had 16 contacts in that area of the pitch, and I think 8 crosses coming in. So we're on a 50%. Maybe I've underestimated, but we need to get people on the end. That is for sure.
16 contacts in that area and no successful crosses. That will be the bottom line. 20 minutes in, it's 0-0. But it has been a start of encouragement as far as England are concerned. Certainly if you're a glass half empty kind of person, you might look at this and think that England have had lots of possession and done precious little with it so far. If you're a glass half full, I think that you would look at it that it's been a very assured performance from England against a side who, whilst they're 32nd in the world rankings, are much higher than that in the yellow ratings that we often talk about and think are probably more reflective of where sides genuinely are. England are 6th in that list and Serbia 21st. But it looks as though there's a much bigger gap between the two than that when you take into account that the away side have been so completely and utterly dominant in possession through the opening quarter of the game. It's 0-0.
Yeah, we've got good possession in and around sort of the centre circle in our own half, and Jordan Pickford's squeezing right up. I would be a little bit concerned on that because he's offering himself, but we don't need him. If we don't need you and we do mislay a pass, he's way out of his goal and in big trouble.
England work the ball out of the left for Tino Livramento, who thought that the first time ball for his club teammate Anthony Gordon was on. Gordon with a lovely little pirouette will try and take it down towards the byline. Still got Livramento in support. He plays it back for Livramento now. The former Chelsea and Southampton man's forced to go back deeper still. Gehi for Konsa, who takes possession and strolls through the centre circle with purpose. Passes the ball out to Reece James. And now to Noni Madueke, level the edge of the penalty area. 2 ahead of him, he's laid it back, ball in deep, Rice with a header at the far post, and it's comfortably saved.
That's exactly what's needed there. Ball out to Madueke, 2 players front him up, he's got nowhere to go. Lay it back so James can come on and put it in first time if he so wishes. He's done that first contact from at the far post. Good play.
Midway through the first half, there's the thoughts of the former England captain, Stuart Pearce. It's 0-0 here in Belgrade. At this stage of the last time that England played in this stadium, they were 3-0 up and a 4th goal was only seconds away. It's not been that kind of electrifying, blistering start this evening. It was against the old Yugoslavia. It is Serbia that have retained Yugoslavia's international record, if you see what I mean. England have played against Serbia and Montenegro since, and of course Serbia themselves with that Jude Bellingham winner in Gelsenkirchen at the Euros, but this is England's first game away to Serbia. Ball with Petrovic, the likeable Bournemouth custodian who recently arrived there from Chelsea. He's fired it forward, long through the middle. Vlahovic the target. Just joining us, there's no Mitrovic again tonight. They're playing with 1 up, and it's Vlahovic on his own rather than alongside Mitrovic or Jovic. Here's the familiar figure of the captain, Milenkovic. Pavlovic to his left-hand side. He's gone in towards Ilic instead. Now out towards Zivkovic. Birmancevic was waiting. Zivkovic couldn't play the ball in towards him. It bounces awkwardly on the edge of the England box, but Anderson can take control of the situation, and then there's no pressure from Lukic on Konsa, who can pick a pass, had the time to work out who was where, and he's played down towards Elliot Anderson. Back from him through the midfield for Rice. Kane, space on the England right for Madueke, played instead towards Gordon, who's cropped up from the left wing and inside right just for a moment. Now he goes out towards Noni Madueke, left-footed ball in from him. Milenkovic with the initial header. Kane comes back from what would have been an offside position, heads it down, but a very high tariff overhead kick attempt from Gordon just drifts innocuously wide. It's 0-0, 25 gone here in Serbia on TalkSport.
Yeah, as I say, the room that Madueke's got on that right-hand side, superb. He's fronted up one-on-one all the time, which isn't a bad thing for us.
Let's get an update from Wales friendly with Canada tonight in Swansea. Here's Lawrence Moore.
Yeah, Wales 0, Canada 0. 2 big chances though. First for Brooks. Harris set him up with a cross from the left, but Brooks got his volley horribly wrong. And then at the other end, Kone, the Canadian central midfielder, saw his shot cross goal bounce off the far post and away to safety. Wales 0, Canada 0.
Cheers, Lawrence. The other game in England's group, currently being led by Albania. They've just scored with Christian Aslani, the Torino midfielder. Albania 1, Latvia 0. That one going as expected. I'll tell you the live table in a moment as Gordon bursts inside the area, right-footed shot. Petrovic got hands behind him, was able to punch it clear. England's best moment of the game so far, and then as Serbia looked as though they'd been caught in possession, the whistle has gone, and a free kick given for a foul by Reece James about 20 yards outside the box. But that was excellent from Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, it certainly was. He went on the dribble, headed straight to goal, cut inside, opened up on his right foot. Give it both barrels, and the goalkeeper put 2 strong fists behind it to palm it away.
So England's group, as things stand at the moment, England 13 from 5, Serbia 8 from 4, Albania 8 from 5, Latvia 4 points from 5, and Andorra yet to trouble the scorers or take a point through their 5 games. Andorra not playing tonight. Probably the best result they can hope for. 26 minutes gone, it's 0-0 between Serbia and England here on TalkSport. Elliot Anderson hitting a long ball down towards the left, just took a slight nick on its way through, so it didn't fly particularly cleanly down towards Livramento. But he's making life difficult for Nedeljkovic, and his persistence sees England rewarded with a throw midway inside Serbian territory. 0-0 the score. Livramento's throw down for Gordon, who then, having played the pass, was clearly pushing the back by Ivan Ilic, a young midfielder who was once on the books of Manchester City. And the free kick has gone England's way. 0-0 the score, 27 minutes gone. And England have tightened things up defensively, and we always talk about the extenuating circumstances for June friendlies, but this was something we mentioned the other day. That game against Senegal, who were in a similar position rankings-wise to Serbia, England faced 9 shots, which was more than they'd faced in 90 minutes of a game for more than 10 years. But there is the odd individual error, which hasn't been catastrophic, aside, and much more defensive solidity from England so far tonight. Now they've worked the ball forward. Madueke's inside the area, and he's tapped just wide from close range. Well, it was Kane that was coming onto it. It looked as though it took a little deflection. Madueke drawing the goalkeeper, flicking it to his left. Kane then tried to find the far post. The referee said it didn't take a touch on its way past. Harry Kane adamant that should have been a corner, but a really good chance for England.
It really was. It's a fantastic turn, probably about 25 yards out. I think it was from Kane that put Madueke away, and how that's not ended up in the back of the net, I don't know.
Well, he scored in 5 of his last 6 games, Harry Kane. He's got 12 in 9 away World Cup qualifiers in his career. And he'll be hugely disappointed that he didn't extend his tally there with what would have been his 74th goal for his country. 22 ahead of Wayne Rooney. Anderson plays it back towards Gahey. Gahey to Rodgers. Rodgers with the ball forward through the midfield. And here's Anthony Gordon. He's got options either side of him. He's gone for goal himself, and Petrovic can dive to his right and tip the effort away. Livramento picks it up. Back from him to Kane. Kane is 10 yards outside the penalty area in a shooting position. Works it inside the box. It almost came back from Madueke. Kane will be able to take over, and then a scything challenge on him. 2 yards outside the box. Results in a yellow card for Lukic and the free kick for England.
Yeah, Harry Kane done well. He tried to shove one into sort of, I think, Morgan Rogers in an inside right position near the edge of the box. He's come back to him off a Serbian player, and then he's running on. He's looking literally a yard outside the box. He's looking to get a shot away, and at that stage Lukic has just hauled him down. Now, wow, this is a fantastic, directly in the middle of the goal, a yard out from the edge of the box. A fantastic opportunity. They've got to hit the target though.
Now, Sasha Lukic with a yellow card. That means he's suspended for Serbia's next game, which is the relatively local derby at home to Albania. And these are going to be punished further with this free kick. Reece James, the only England player to score a direct free kick for some time. Declan Rice has shown in his Arsenal career with that extraordinary Champions League double that he scored that he is more than capable from distance. But Rice has abdicated the responsibility. He's made his way forward now and is standing just to the left of the wall. Harry Kane is in that wall, but he's not the requisite metre away, certainly to start with. He is now being told exactly where he can go. There are 5 in the wall, and Zivkovic is in the draft excluded position in behind. Kane is now the requisite distance away. Madueke stands hands on hips, but Reece James is looking the favourite here. If anything, you'd say it might be a yard too close to the edge of the penalty area, but it's still a great position. Can he get it up and down in time? Petrovic, who will have faced a few of these in training. This is a big moment. It's James, and he's blasted it straight into the wall. Big England appeals for a handball. Nothing given. Milenkovic urges the wall and the rest of the defenders to push out. England will come again, the second phase of play, level with the edge of the penalty area. Gordon gets to the byline, stands it up deep towards the far post. It's headed away. Madueke is going to be able to pick that up. And he's followed out of the penalty area by Birmancevic. He's just been able to keep it in there, Noni Madueke. Laid back for Elliot Anderson to Reece James. Low ball in from him, and Petrovic can't prevent that hitting the side netting after a deflection. It's another England corner. 0-0, but a good 5-minute spell.
Yeah, Reece James is the one who's decided to take the free kick on. For me, it's a left footer all day long. Goalkeeper's side, he's decided to sort of close his foot and pull it with his right foot, and there was a muted shout for a penalty from Reece James suggesting it's in a hand, but not the best of free kicks. Great opportunity though.
Elsewhere, Norway 2, Moldova 0, Hungary 1, Portugal 0. Iceland lead in France by a goal to 0. Romania 2-1 up in Cyprus. Another game in this group. Still Albania 1, Latvia 0. This one is still goalless, as is the Wales-Canada friendly. Corner to be taken from the England right again. Another away swinger from Declan Rice. More curve on that, and he's headed in off the inside of the post. Harry Kane attacking it. Stoops, conquers, and England lead. No more than they deserve. Great delivery from Rice. Kane making that run in from deep again. Nobody had picked him up. He got his head to it and diverted it with real precision in off the left-hand post. It's goal number 74, and it's a big one. Serbia 0, England 1.
Well, all England's possession now is bearing fruit with this goal. Fantastic ball in on that occasion, and in and around the penalty spot. Serbia won't be happy with this. Harry Kane, he's hardly got off the ground. He's stooping to head, coming away from goal. Fantastic header. The guidance is brilliant, just in off the far post. And if he doesn't score against Andorra, you know another one's coming any given time very soon.
Well, Thomas Tuchel said yesterday he wasn't worried about Harry Kane in the slightest on the back of a performance against Andorra where he was given very little service and hardly a chance worthy of the name. And that's why 6 goals in his last 7 England internationals, and England lead by a goal to 0. And that could be the platform for a huge win and a monumental step towards the 2026 World Cup in North America. Now, the England side who haven't conceded a competitive goal for over 8 hours just have to keep a clean sheet. It's Serbia 0, England 1.
Yeah, and I think that will settle England down a little bit. They've been pretty comfortable in the game with their possession, but it's always nice to put one on the scoreboard.
Consta has given it away, but no harm done. He's back in position to be able to shepherd the ball over the line along with Reece James now to play for a goal kick. Another Harry Kane goal in qualifiers, Stu. He's played 40 and has now scored 44 goals in qualifiers. He scored almost as many goals in those 40 qualifiers as any other England player has scored in history.
Quite incredible, as I say. So reliable, you know full well he knows exactly. Tuchel's press conference the other day, basically he's telling us don't worry about Harry Kane, he knows where to go to sniff out a goal, and he certainly did there.
And now Anderson has played it forward. It's a clever touch around the corner. Madueke is inside the penalty area, and it's 2 in 2 minutes. This is much better from England, and what Thomas Tuchel was hoping to bring. Devastating there on the counter-attack. Anderson, the instigator of it, flicking the ball forward. It was turned round the corner. Madueke made the run down the inside right channel between Pavlovic and Milenkovic. He had time, he had patience, and he had the resolve to draw the keeper, slot it past him. Noni Madueke with the goal. His first for his country, and England are 2 up in Belgrade.
absolutely super. The Serbians have just got no answer for the pace of England. They're too quick for them, and on that occasion when Madueke drove in, you knew full well there was either a pass on to Harry Kane, who was waiting, but the finish was sublime.
Well, Anderson did well, but the touch from Morgan Rogers just to come towards the ball and feather it round the corner for Madueke was a majestic moment. And Are You Scotland in Disguise is the song from the England supporters away to our right-hand side. Serbia 0, England 2. Kane on 33, Madueke on 35. And England, as things stand right now, are 7 points clear at the top of the group.
Yeah, and the Serbs look shaken, as you would expect. 2 goals down, and England have dominated from the offset, really. The only time they've hesitated on occasion is when they've given the ball away in total possession. It's given the Serbians a touch of a lift, but in the main, Madueke's got the beating of his man. We're feeding him on a regular basis now. He's got his reward.
So England leading by 2 goals to 0, and that flurry of goal-scoring activity means we're a little late on the England trivia question for tonight. But I'll tell you what it is in just a moment, as the ball is played forward towards halfway by Serbia, looking to get themselves back into the game before half-time. Nedeljkovic, yarding from the right-hand touchline, playing it forward into the feet of Vlahovic. Vlahovic coming back. Finds Sasha Lukic. Lukic is 15 yards outside the penalty area with Vlahovic waiting on the right. Now worked down towards him again. Left-footed ball played over the top, but Ilic knew he was offside, and he goes straight through for Pickford. So here's tonight's England trivia question. How many players are still playing professionally who have scored 8 or more goals for England? So that's how many players are still playing professionally who've scored 8 or more goals for England, and can you name them? So that's tonight's England trivia question, and we will give you
just on the pitch,
a few thoughts at half-time.
Sorry, Jim, just on the pitch at the moment, I don't know whether there's a laser being fired at one of the players' eyes. I think it's just Conser there was coming out, a laser from the terraces, and the game's just stopped at the moment. The referee's just gone over to the fourth official to make him aware of this.
Yeah, that was a great spot. Ezri Konsa saw it too. Shone right into his eyes, a laser pen or something, and he just stopped his run. He was bringing the ball out from the back. So play will restart with a drop ball to Ezri Konsa. England leading by 2 goals to 0 here in Belgrade on Talk Sport. No movement at all from the flags, which hang limply. 9 of them over on the far touchline, just on the top of the roof of the stand over on that far side. No movement. It's an airless Belgrade night, but it's been an excellent one for England and for Thomas Tuchel's men so far. This is the kind of performance that he would have been hoping for. A much more worthwhile test than he's had so far, and England are passing it right now. They're trying to get it forward for Rodgers again as he looks to make it 3. Knocked away by Pavlovic on the edge of his own penalty area. Kane is much, much deeper. He's picked up the ball near the edge of the centre circle, looks for Gordon, and as Gordon tries to bring it away, he's pulled Nedeljkovic back and has received the yellow card. The first shown to an England player tonight. In fact, there's nobody in the England starting lineup who's on a yellow card and running the risk of suspension, but Gordon is booked. England 2 up with 5 to go to half-time.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Jordan Pickford here, and his position is very, very advanced when we're in possession. He's looking to say, give it to me if you want. For me, for a goalkeeper, just keep out the way. They know you're there, stay where you are. I just get the impression, Jim, that he wants to get involved in the game, you know, and you don't have to do that as a goalkeeper.
Livramento's just been caught here, an England free kick just inside Serbian territory. You think that is Pickford rather than England instruction to him about his starting position?
I just think when the ball comes into his hand and into his possession, he's hanging on to it just a little bit too long. I'm being ultra critical. Look, there's a pass on now and he's still got the ball at his feet. for me, just give the players the ball. Give the outfield players the ball.
Side puts it forward over the halfway line. Ball is played back by Pavlovic to his goalkeeper, and it's cleared towards halfway. 2-0 England, 4 to go to half-time. Deadlock broken as well in Swansea. Lawrence Mora.
Wales 0, Canada 1. Derek Cornelius of Rangers has scored it from a free kick around 25 yards out, left-footed. He's killed it over the top of the wall and into the top corner. Sensational free kick. Wales 0, Canada 1.
Gordon plays the ball out to the England right-hand side, where James and Madueke that time were just at cross purposes. And a harmless ball at the right-hand side of the penalty area has innocuously gone over the dead ball line and out of play for a goal kick. That announcement that you heard, incidentally, from the man on the public address system, who's sitting only about 4-5 feet away from us, was just a request that lasers aren't used. And that drew derision from the home support. 3 to go to half-time. England 2 up. Good value as well for the advantage. This has been the best half of football under Tuchel so far. But Serbia trying to get back into it. Low ball inside the penalty area. Konsa didn't know whether to stick or twist in the end. He can block a cross that comes in. A little double ricochet from Zivkovic's ball, which came back into him and goes out of play for a goal kick. Looks as though it was Konsa's to win. Didn't want to dive in, just took a step back rather than coming forward. That allowed Zivkovic the second opportunity, but then he missed his kick really as he skidded as he tried to play it in. It's out of play for a goal kick.
Konsa just lost his foot in a little bit there. Then all of a sudden he was second favourite and made the correct decision of just holding his ground.
Erling Haaland has got a hat-trick, incidentally. 3 goals and an assist tonight as Norway lead Moldova by 4 goals. And I think that now means that he's better than a goal a game in international football in his career. Here's Kane. Back for Anderson, who's grown into the game as it's gone on after a wide-eyed opening 10 minutes, but he's done well again. Konsa receiving the ball from Gehi, 20 yards inside his own half. Now goes back for Pickford, who's back in his D as he receives that. And plumb dead centre of the pitch, Jordan Pickford, and he stands motionless with the studs of his left boot on the top of the ball. It's an easy pass to him out of the right-hand side, which Stewart silently was indicating he should play rather than a little bit of showboating and try to engage the press before playing that pass. He does eventually play Ezri Konsa in, and now Gehi will look for the ball over the top for Kane's run, and it's knocked away by Pavlovic. Another play for a throw. So what's been the principal difference tonight, Stu?
I think Serbia have been really poor, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think they've played their part. I think Andorra were a better team, to be honest with you, defensively than Serbia have shown in this first half. That is one point. Madueke and James have got a lot of room out there. I think in the game against Andorra, whenever they received the ball out wide, there was always 2, 3, sometimes 4 Andorran players working to fill spaces. They haven't done that tonight, Serbia. They've left Madueke one-on-one, and that's been a big no-no.
Another goal for Norway. They're 5 up in that game. Martin Ødegaard, who set up a couple of Haaland's goals, now has a goal of his own in first half stoppage time. We've got 30 seconds to go to half time in this one. Don't forget, after the full-time whistle, our England correspondent Faye Carruthers will bring you all the reaction from the tunnel. We'll get to hear the thoughts of Thomas Tuchel and the headline makers, and then your thoughts as well. Phone lines will open with Jamie and Jace. They'll give you the chance to have your say on this evening's match on the Sports Bar. 03717 22 3344. Our next live football coming up Friday night. One of more than 150 live EFL games we'll bring you over the course of the season. It's over on TalkSport 2. Ipswich against Sheffield United. The season certainly not going as either of those would have anticipated, and they face up at Portman Road. 7 o'clock. The build-up starts with 7:45 kickoff on Friday night on TalkSport 2. We're in 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half here in Belgrade. And England lead with goals from Kane, his 74th, and Madueke his first for his country. Ball is cleared by Pavlovic on the edge of his own penalty area, gets it towards halfway. Vlahovic trying to win it. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see Dragan Stojkovic make at least one, maybe two changes at half-time to try and pep this Serbian performance up. They've been very poor so far. It's taken nothing away from England. Milenkovic, Ilic, now Vlahovic dropping that little bit deeper, can get a shot in, which dipped, but not in time, and it goes straight over Pickford's goal and bounces on the running track behind it in front of the England supporters, and that will do. What a first 45 minutes of football. England won 2-0 on Saturday and were roundly dismissed for the level of performance. They're 2-up at half-time here in Belgrade and have been infinitely better. At last, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Serbia 0, England 2.
Are you entertained? I am, definitely. England leading 2-0. They head off to the left, to the tunnel, and they'll be happy with that, and rightly so as well. And from the off, there was intent with this England performance. First 10 minutes, they were all over them. There was quick passing, there was movement, there was width, there was a good tempo to the game. England, Stuart Pearce, started with that intent and they followed it through and backed it up with goals. That is your classically brilliant first half away performance in a qualifier. That's what we want.
Well, they certainly dominated the ball from the first moments and with the team in ascendancy, looked very comfortable into the game. Serbia offered very, very little, and all they'd done was erode their own confidence in many ways, Serbia. I think from a physical context, England are sharper than them, quicker than them. There's a fear factor in going tight on people, and there's so much room on the right-hand side for James and Madueke. They've had an absolute field day.
Well, the first goal came from the right-hand side. It was a corner from Declan Rice, 33rd minute of the game, and he's put the ball in. It's a really weird header from Harry Kane, but what's even weirder, there's nobody marking him, Stuart Pearce. What's that all about? They've got enough defenders on the pitch.
Yeah, woeful defending. As I say, they've allowed the England players to move, rotate wherever they wanted to go, and literally, you know, Harry Kane started on the edge of the box, just drifted in. Madueke sort of half got a block, if you like, and as I say, we're watching a replay and you can say they're moaning a little bit about the block, and I'm not sure which Ilic it was, but listen, a fantastic ball in and a great header from Harry Kane. He didn't have to get off the ground, but what he had to do, generate the pace and guide it, and he done exactly that.
He stooped to conquer, and that was 1-0 England. The second goal, I really love this second goal, Stuart Pearce. We'll take a look at it here now. This is in the 35th minute. It's lovely build-up play from the back. It goes down the right, and there's a lovely touch from Morgan Rogers right here. It's superb.
It is, as I say, fantastic ball. Anderson into Rogers. He's flicked it with his right foot, just in space behind that high line that we spoke about of Serbia. And there's no catching Madueke when he goes in behind. A great run from him, and when he got in, you're looking in the middle of the goal. You've got Rice, you've got Gordon, you've got Livramento all arriving in the box as well, which is great to see. But Madueke said, don't worry about that. Just get back to the halfway line and get ready for a centre.
I'll tell you what, if he hadn't hit the back of the net, they'd have been fuming, wouldn't they?
Of course they would, but he did. And he never looked like missing, to be fair.
And listen, what I love about that, and the reason why we've been talking a lot about it, Jim mentioned it in commentary and just mentioned it now, that Morgan Rogers touch, the reason why that's so important is because that's risky play, but it's exciting play, it's entertaining play. And I think the fans, those who have been moaning about the performance on Saturday and recent Tuchel performances, they want to see a bit more of that. We got it right there, it was risky, but it led to a goal.
Yeah, it certainly did, but if you're going to take risks with a ball, do it in the opposition's half, and that's exactly what we did. And as I say, we've dominated the game. I would have probably liked, if I'm being ultra critical, sometimes if we run aground in wide areas, can we roll it back to the fullbacks to come on and put it in the box first time? But saying that, we're 2-0 up, we've dominated the game, and England have looked more than comfortable.
Are you complaining?
No, I'm just saying how good we were.
I think we've been superb. I think that answers a lot of critics. I think that nobody can complain at that whatsoever. It will be Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy from 10 o'clock after we've mopped up here and heard from the England camp, from the England manager as well. That's all to come after the second half. Remember, the job's not quite done yet. Serbia 0, England 2. The first half for me could not have gone better. let's check in on the friendly in Swansea, the international there with Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, at the break it's Wales 0, Canada 1. It's been a really watchable 45 minutes. Certainly hasn't felt like a friendly. We've seen 6 yellow cards. Crew, Brooks and Wilson for Wales. Canada's manager Jesse Marsh among his nation's bookings. David Brooks and Dan James have had the best chances for Wales. James' shot was too close to the keeper, St. Clair, while Brooks getting his volley horribly wrong when in a great position in the centre of the penalty area. Kone had hit the post for the visitors, but the opening goal was a cracker. Derek Cornelius is just joined Scottish side Rangers on loan from Marseille. He stepped up from centre-back and curled a stunning free kick, left-footed, into the top corner of the net from around 25 yards. At the break, Wales 0, Canada 1.
Too much about it. What England do, it's in England's hands at the moment. Keep moving the ball, keep waiting for the times and the spaces, and keep utilising our wide area.
Hello everyone.
Absolutely, indeed. The trivia, by the way, that Jim...
Hello guys, just to let you guys know that I have a problem with the UI. So if England or Serbia get a goal, it won't come up. So I'm very sorry about that, and even the score thing won't come up either. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. But anyway, it is the halftime whistle, and I'll see you all soon. Anyway, back to the commentary. We go.
Got it right. What prize do I win?
How many players that are still playing have scored 8 goals or more, and how many of the 5 can you name? There you go. There's a hint.
So 2 more. I think we'll have to work on this one. He's going to give us the answer to it. Around halfway through the second half?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. I mean, are they still playing for England? Can I get any clues?
Yeah, one of them still plays for England, yeah.
Okay.
No, both of them are still Premier League players.
Oh, Premier League players.
Yeah.
So not Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, no, there's your hint. So Kane 73, now 74, Sterling 20, Rashford 17, and 2 more who have scored 8 or more.
It's just for fun. He'll give you the answer halfway through the second half. The ball is on the centre spot. Serbia are out, England are out. Harry Kane and Noni Madueke have given England a 2-0 lead here in Belgrade. It is commanding. It answers the critics, doesn't it? Well, we'll find out at the end of this second half. We'll find out when we get reaction from the England camp after the game with Faye Carruthers, and we'll find out on the Sports Bar from 10 on TalkSport tonight. And don't forget, we will bring you our little podcast reflecting on this game as well later on in the evening, live from Belgrade. Let's get back to your commentary then. Serbia 0, England 2, and Serbia about to make some much needed changes. Your commentary on TalkSport comes from former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Well, as Dragan Stojkovic, the vastly experienced Serbian coach, made his way down towards the tunnel, he would have heard Stojkovic out ringing in his ears. It was an experimental side that he's picked tonight. He's made 2 changes. Nedeljkovic and Birmancevic, the 2 wing-backs, both taken off at half-time. Kostic has come on, who ordinarily plays at left wing-back. Jovic has come on as well. And so it's a side that is much more reminiscent of the one that played at the weekend when they beat Latvia. They've moved Zivkovic, I think, back out to right wing-back. Jovic up front with Vlahovic. It's now going to be a 3-5-2 as far as Serbia are concerned. We're back underway. They've already won a free kick, given away by Morgan Rogers, who played that exquisite touch for the assist for the Madueke goal. And Serbia have an immediate opportunity to be able to get themselves back into this game, halving the deadlock. They've got a free kick that's 12 yards outside the England penalty area. And that's the cue for Milankovic to make his way forward. Pavlovic is in there as well. Standing on hands on hips at Sasha Lukic, but I don't think this is going to be a shot. In fact, it certainly won't be from Lukic. He's departed the scene. Madueke peels away from the wall just to keep an eye on the ball being rolled to Lukic down the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's going to be a left-footed ball clipped inside that England box. It comes now from Kostic. It's really well headed away. Good defending by Kane, steering the header out towards the far side. Look for a moment as though the counter-attack could be on as a result of that. Only a really well-timed challenge on halfway prevented that happening, and play will stop because the England man is trying to lead the counter-attack over on that far side has gone down injured.
Yeah, as I say, Serbia at full stretch when the afterburners go on from Livramento, and I think it was Gordon as well. put them under real pressure. But the last challenge has left Gordon injured, but not too bad, I don't think.
It might even be Elliot Anderson over on that far touchline, who just had his legs taken away from underneath him. Reminder of the England side: Pickford in goal, James Conser, Gahey and Livramento, then Anderson, Madueke, Rogers, Rice and Gordon, and Harry Kane. Kane on 33, Madueke on 36 according to official timings, and England with 2 goals in just a shade over 2 minutes in that first half, leading by 2 goals to 0. And England have still only faced 2 shots on target in this entire World Cup qualification campaign so far. 5 shots on target themselves tonight, 10 shots to 2 all told. Here's Madueke, losing out to Kostic. Great strength from Filip Kostic, the Juventus man, playing it through the midfield. There's a much greater purpose about Serbia at the start of this second half, not passive and sitting back and trying to soak it up now, having to come out and be a lot more proactive. Ilic takes it down towards the corner flag, but he's well defended. England will be able to play it away down that left-hand touchline, but then have given it away. Another opportunity with the ball inside the area. Didn't find Vlahovic, and England will poke it clear out of the left-hand touchline again. Another opportunity for them to try and bring it away on the counter-attack. Madueke is going to scamper after this. Pavlovic just got there first, and then really well defended. He's allowed the ball to roll over the line, out of play for a throw that he's taken really quickly. Back to his goalkeeper, bounced a couple of times, so Rogers could put the pressure on Petrovic, and England win it back with a hurried clearance from the goalkeeper, finding a white shirt on halfway. 2-0 England. Now we're 3.5 minutes into the second half in the company of Stuart Pearce here on TalkSport.
Looks as though Rice got a good opportunity,
which is dragged wide. He got there on the edge of the D and brought the ball onto his right foot, but has slammed it wide at the far post.
Yeah, it looks as though we're going to have a more flexible Serbian side in this half. They're going to have to come out and chase the game a little bit more, and hopefully that will play in our hands. We've got to make sure that we arrest any tide of upsurge they might come our way.
England did lose to Senegal when they were 1-0 up. That was the first time in 46 games over 6 years in which they have seen a lead end up as a defeat. Currently unbeaten in 35 World Cup qualifiers, which is a run that stretches back to 2009 and a defeat away to Ukraine. It's unsurprisingly the best current run in European football. Hoping to extend that to 36 tonight, and looking really good value for it at the moment. In fact, it's Albania who are second in this group at the moment, with England 7 points ahead of them and 8 ahead of Serbia. And the 6 points from these 2 games against Serbia will see England qualify. They're playing out from the back here under pressure, and Serbia are trying to press with real intensity. I think there's a feeling that if you can get through this Serbian press, it gives you an outstanding opportunity of being able to create something high upfield. They won't recover particularly quickly. They're doing their best to try and press the life out of England at the moment. Vlahovic leading the way, but Anderson, the other number 23 on the field, has got the ball at his feet, and he can bring it towards the edge of the centre circle. England still leading, and good value for the 2-0 advantage. And it's going to be fascinating to hear exactly what you have made of this performance. Are you convinced? Is the switch been turned in your mind by this performance so far? I'll get your reaction along with that from Thomas Tuchel and the headline makers on the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara from 10 o'clock tonight here on TalkSport. Here in Belgrade, England 2-up with Anderson in possession, finding Reece James, who's 15 yards outside the penalty area. Goes down towards Noni Madueke. Madueke attacking the edge of the box, getting it onto his left foot, then his right. He's nudged it back. Reece James, a right-footed shot, took a deflection. It wasn't particularly well hit by Rice, but almost scooted through to a man in white inside the penalty area. It didn't quite. Serbia get it away. Very strong defending from Gahey, wins it back for England, and then Donald Turpin has put whistle to mouth this time to give England a free kick for a foul on Rice about 15 outside the box.
Mark Gahey just demonstrating there his ability to read the game's fantastic. Just stepped in front of Vlahovic and just took the ball off him. he really does make the difficult look easy in his reading of the game.
Erling Haaland has scored again. That's 4 for him tonight. He's now got 47 in 45 internationals. It's his 26th career hat-trick. England from distance, right-footed shot. Surely he's going to be bundled over the line for 3. It is eventually. And it's Ezri Konsa that has got the goal. Shot came in, Petrovic spilt it. England tried to work it back through the 6-yard box. It bobbled around, and Konsa was there at the foot of the left-hand post to tap it in. 3 goals, 3 points now assured, and the Thomas Tuchel era is beginning to lift off.
Yeah, it certainly was. England had numbers. It was whipped into the box there. Good effort on goal by Gordon. The goalkeeper's parried it, but kept it in the danger zone. And it's the England players that reacted. You know, firstly Gahey, then Kane was in there, and then Konsa's whipped it in with his left foot at a tight angle.
So Gordon's initial effort, it's just a question of who was offside. It hit Gahey. Don't know that he was offside. I don't think he was. The goal is still being checked. I think it must be pretty close. Ezri Konsa, the man that at the moment is celebrating the goal. Surprisingly his first in England colours. He's still waiting for the signal that the check is complete. I haven't seen the right angles on our monitors to correctly ascertain whether Gahey was offside from the initial shot that came in, or whether Kane was then offside as he has played it for him. Sure, Konsa's come from an onside position. It's not Konsa, I think, that anyone is worried about. It's either Gahey or Kane, and we haven't seen the angles on our monitor. I think the check is complete, and it is 3-0.
Yeah, as I say, this is the lead that England wanted now. I think any resurgence from Serbia will be put to bed with that goal. Probably on the run of play, 3-0 has not flattered England that much.
3 goals in a 20-minute spell either side of half-time. Now Serbia will bring it forward again with half-time substitute Luka Jovic. He's just found himself sandwiched between the England players and has been fouled. There was James and Kane that converged on him from differing sides to catch him. It was James with the challenge. A free kick that will be taken by Serbia. 3-0 England.
I think when you compare this performance to Andorra, I don't think it's vastly different. It's just that Serbia can't defend England.
In comes the free kick from the left wing back Kostic, and straight out of play after an offensive header, and a corner has been given. I think all the England players are absolutely convinced that hit a Serbian head on its way through, but it's not Vlahovic's touch. Kevin Turpan has given a corner, which is only the second Serbia have won tonight, and it's going to be taken over on the right. 3-0 England. Everybody back defending inside the penalty area as it's swung in very deep. Pickford should be able to come out and catch that. It took a touch off Rodgers' head and bounced back inside his own penalty area. Pickford comes out, takes control, bowls it out quickly, and England are hungry for more. Now scored 11 goals without reply in this qualifying campaign. Leading here by 3 goals to 0. There's a 4-1 win there. Last visit to this part of Belgrade in the late 80s. Last defeat here back in 1968, and I think we're still going to be able to say that tomorrow. There's some capitulation if we can't. Anthony Gordon trying to win the ball over on the far touchline from Zivkovic, who's now back in his more customary right wing-back position. Zivkovic has stayed down as the ball rolled over the line. I think it's going to be an England throw to restart play.
No, it's gone the other way. Referee's given it to Serbia, I think. Yeah, some people might say, well, how can you suggest that this performance isn't much better than the Andorra one? I think Andorra just knew what they were doing, defended stoutly, and when you look, when England get the ball into wide areas, it's man for man, 1-on-1, 2-on-2. In the Andorra game, there was a number ascendancy. Andorra worked tirelessly to make sure that they weren't outnumbered or even numbered, and Serbia have been poor at that. They've left players in wide areas isolated, and we've certainly capitalised on that.
Andorra did what Andorra do. They are well briefed. They're an international side that play to the limit of their potential week in, week out, always fulfilling the same game plan. Serbia have tried to mix it up and do something different to what they normally do tonight, and they haven't been able to do it. I mean, it's been simple as that, really, but taking nothing away from England, this has been a sparkling performance, really.
Yeah, on the grounds that we've created chances, hit the back of the net on 3 occasions so far, and in Madueke we've got a player that's sort of almost unplayable to the Serbs, especially the way they're attempting to play him.
Do you know it's going to be interesting?
Oh, not the marks.
The marks out of 10.
Yeah.
I think that Adrian's marks out of 10, which will go up on the TalkSport website later, will be fascinating. We might even see some 6s and 7s today. Let's go to Swansea during this break in play, and we'll get an update. Wales trying to get back into that game against Canada. Here's TalkSport's Lawrence Morey.
Where it's Wales 0, Canada 1, but Charlie Crew, the young Leeds midfielder, has just seen his header saved on the line by St Clair in the Canadian goal, who's getting roundly booed after a dive when he had a collision with Dan James. Home crowd not impressed with his theatrics. It remains Wales 0, Canada 1.
Zivkovic back on his feet now, and I think we're just about in a position that we can continue. I talked about Adrian's marks out of 10, which are always fascinating, and polarised opinion. They're on the TalkSport website. We'll also be bringing the TalkSport Daily podcast from 6 tomorrow morning. You'll hear me, Adrian and Stuart reacting to this game tonight. You'll hear from Thomas Tuchel as well. You can download that TalkSport Daily podcast from all of your usual providers. I guess one of the things that we'll be talking about as we assess whether this is the Thomas Tuchel blueprint for the future is going to be the role of Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson, and the two of them working in tandem. How have you felt that has been effective tonight?
Yeah, I don't think Anderson's caught the eye like we saw in the previous game against Andorra, but it always pleases me that we've got Declan Rice further up the pitch. He can always drop into that hole, which he's done on occasion, and supplement it, but I would prefer him further up the pitch without a doubt.
There's Kostic taking the ball down towards the corner flag. He's checked back but couldn't find Pavlovic. Didn't get anything like enough on the touch. Kane can then turn and chip the ball forward, and Rodgers is going to willingly chase after it. Ball worked all the way back to the goalkeeper Petrovic, who sweeps it down to the left-hand side for Pavlovic. He's the player that they tend to try and play out from the back through. Srđan Pavlovic on the left-hand side, the Milan defender, but it hasn't really worked for them so far tonight. England have dealt with the Serbian attacking threat very comfortably. They lead by 3 goals to 0. First international goals this evening for Madueke and Konsa, and Harry Kane has scored again. Ball with Pickford, hoping for 7th clean sheet in a row for Jordan Pickford tonight. He's not that far away in the grand scheme of things from potentially equaling his own England record, or breaking his own England record of minutes without conceding a goal. That record's 726, and he's up at 600 as we speak now. 3-0 to England we play now.
Yeah, as I say, the game's just meandering. The Serbian fans have got to their feet and trying to inspire their team. Just attempting to come through the middle.
Vlahovic trying to squeeze it through there. Jovic was offside. Flag is up, and it's a free kick which will be taken by England on the edge of their penalty area. Another change, and Samardžić is going to be coming on. So Laszlo Samardžić, the player being introduced here, the Atalanta versatile player. He has played centre-half in this campaign, but he can play as a striker, a winger, as a 10. He came on at half-time on Saturday playing on the left-hand side of central midfield. It looks as though he's playing on the right of midfield here. So he has come on. And Serbia trailing by 3 goals to 0. England next in action, incidentally, after the friendly against Wales on October the 9th. They go to Latvia October the 14th, where they can take another big step towards automatic qualification and winning this group. Ball over the top here down the left-hand side from Serbia. Pavlovic looking for Vlahovic. Vlahovic chasing after that manfully, but it's really good, strong defending on the England right-hand side by Gahey. England work it through their own area with Anderson to Pickford. Pickford taking a touch, working it centrally. Kane, who's sitting much deeper in this second half, in a little pocket of space, almost Anderson's role for a moment. Sprays it out towards the left. Livramento back through the midfielder for Anderson. And now Reece James is going to be able to bring it forward. James is 15 yards inside Serbian territory as he lays it square to his left-hand side for Rice. Rice now to Anderson. We've played 62 minutes. Madueke down the line for James. Those two linking up beautifully again. James checking, turning back. Rodgers on the turn. Little left-footed reverse ball. Kane trying to wriggle his way past Milenkovic. Couldn't quite do it. Now Milenkovic will get it to the left-hand side of his own box, and then he's put under pressure. Telling pressure as well, falls Rice's way. Rice getting it back, left-footed effort, couldn't get hold of it. And Petrovic makes the save. 3-0 England.
Yeah, really good effort there. Attempting to work something on the edge of the box for Declan Rice. Serbia just switching play at this moment in time. And just building up slowly in and around the halfway line.
And there is a skirmish in the home section of the crowd down at the bottom of the front tier away to our left-hand side. I don't know if the play is going to stop. It does stop only temporarily. It looks as though it has been curtailed, but the riot police are going in very quickly down away to our left at the moment. And similarly, there's something else going on over on that far side as well. The Serbians, very disaffected by this level of performance, have been calling for the head of the manager, and they're 3-0 down. No sign of it getting any better for them at the moment. Long ball forward from Pickford, but it only falls to Milenkovic. Milenkovic to Irakovic. Ball worked down the Serbian right. Vlahovic chasing after that. Gahey followed him every step of the way. 3-0 England.
Yeah, as I say, the skirmishes in the crowd there have just took the eye off the game a little bit. The game's meandered on. England are quite happy. 3-0 up at the moment. Just in comfortable possession. Just slowing the momentum of the game down. They've earned the right to do that.
Pickford in the D, takes the touch, takes a second, and then hits it right-footed out to the far touchline past everybody and straight out for a throw that'll be taken on the Serbian right. It's poor distribution from Jordan Pickford. They'll be disappointed by that.
I think we've got a couple of substitutions going on. I think Jed Spence might be one of them. Didn't quite catch the other. Tuchel just giving some instructions.
A position, an opportunity to be able to blood young internationals. I didn't really necessarily dream that would be the situation just past the hour mark tonight. Here they come again down the left-hand side. It's a ball in from Pavlovic. Pickford just took a couple of hasty steps back. It curved over the top of his bar and then back out. And that will allow England the opportunity to make these changes in a moment. Norway 7 up now. Thilo Asgard, the Rangers man, the former Wigan player, has scored that. Norway leading Moldova by 7 goals. Neil Haaland's got 4 of them and set up one of the others. A couple of assists for Martin Ødegaard tonight. He's also on target. The changes won't be made quite yet. Played out from Pickford. He's got really lucky.
Now, I don't want to turn around and say I told you so, but he gets bored, and you could see just in the first half exactly what was going to happen, and there it was.
So he had the ball, and he just tried to side foot it laconically outside the penalty area to Elliot Anderson, and Samajic nipped in from the blind side of Anderson, dispossessed him, but his touch was heavy, and Pickford was able to pounce on it and make the save. But had he been able to take a good touch there, he surely would have scored from close range, and that would have been 3-1 and then back in it. Now England will bring him forward again. Pickford's heart will still be beating quickly. Madueke's ball inside the penalty area is clear. Bounces just away from Morgan Rogers. Samajic back in a defensive role is able to get that away. Jovic can't get it to hold up. Elliot Anderson winning it back again. The Forest man plays it down the right-hand side for Madueke. Ball curling inside the Serbian penalty area. Half cleared by Irakovic. Rice unleashes from distance. And then a really poor defensive touch from Pavlovic. Sticks the ball over his own dead ball line and out for another England corner. 3-0 they lead.
Just a negative mark on Jordan Pickford. You know, I mentioned it in the first half because you could see it happening. He almost gets a little bit bored when there's not a great deal to do in games. Holds on to the ball that little bit extra second or so and takes chances that he shouldn't really get involved in. But luckily nothing come of it.
So double change coming up for England. And we're going to see Marcus Rashford and Jed Spence introduced very shortly.
Interesting looking around the terraces at the moment. We're looking at the far terrace.
As Rice swings this corner in and it bounces past everybody inside the box. England will keep possession but much deeper with Livramento. Down towards Gordon, back for Tino Livramento again, and he's overrun it straight out of play for a goal.
Just looking across at the stand across the way from us there, and there's a lot of movement of people. Look as though they're either leaving or moving somewhere collectively. There's a lot of individuals wearing black. I wonder if it's where the ultras here, I don't know.
Well, I think that there are, I know that there are political undertones to the chanting. Some of the chanting that we've heard, complaints about the president of Serbia. There have been political protests over here yesterday when we arrived from the airport. Just diverted away from those protests. There's clearly a lot of unrest. England will make a double change then. Rashford coming on for Gordon and Spence for James. Spence becoming the 5th player to make his England debut under Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, as I say, I think rightly so. Earned the right to make substitutions, give players a couple of caps here, and Spence will be absolutely delighted.
He's not missed a minute under Thomas Frank so far this season. A player that won 6 caps for the under-21s. He's seen experience abroad that he's picked up in France with Rennes and in Italy with Genoa. He's on for his England debut at right back. Here's Tino Livramento at left back. We've got just over 20 minutes to go here on TalkSport with England 3 goals to the good. Look at that trivia answer very shortly when we asked you how many current players have scored 8 or more goals for England. The answer is 5. I'll tell you who they are presently. Serbia getting the ball back, working it forward with Samajic. Anderson has grown into the game as it's gone on. There to mop up near the edge of the D and flick it away. And then a reverse ball forward for Declan Rice. Sliding challenge comes in on him and puts it out of play for an England throw. Serbia themselves will make a change, and Mitrovic is going to come on to replace Vlahovic. Mitrovic found to get a good reception. The record goal scorer of 62 goals in 101 games, 4 hat-tricks in that time. Now scored 111 goals for Fulham at a rate of better than a goal every other game. And his numbers in Saudi are even better than that, 62 in 69. So Mitrovic is on. He's only getting a few minutes here and there these days for his country. He's got 20 tonight. And England lead by 3 goals to 0. The ball was boomed down to the England left by Pickford. Turned back forward through the midfield by the Serbs. Looking for Mitrovic to try and get him involved. Gahey gets it away. Anderson showing for the ball in the midfield. Rice digs his right foot underneath the ball and clips it out towards Noni Madueke. Madueke with a couple of clever little step-overs, taking it on towards the edge of the penalty area. Rogers then couldn't turn and take the ball with him. It was cleared, and Pavlovic will try and bring it forward, but Spence times his challenge well. And gets a big round of applause from Thomas Tuchel as he does so. First contribution from him.
Yeah, as I say, brilliant surging run by Jed Spence there, and Madueke really should have done the reverse pass and play him in. You've got to reward a player that makes that sort of distance up to help you out. And Credit to Spence, his recovery run was super.
So the answer to the trivia question then, how many players are still playing professionally who've scored 8 or more goals for England? The answer is 5. Kane, Sterling and Rashford, the boys got at half-time. The other 2, Bukayo Saka, who's on 12, and Danny Welbeck, who's on 16. A lunging challenge comes in, 10 yards outside the penalty area, and Serbia reduced to 10 men. Milenkovic with a sliding challenge, he's brought Kane down. It's outside the box, denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, and the Serbian captain is sent off. And their bad night has just got a whole load worse. Ball worked forward down the inside left channel. It just took a touch, Kane, to nudge it past his man. And having done that, as soon as the challenge was mistimed, it was the denial of an obvious goal-scoring chance. He's claiming that he wasn't, but he's off, Milenkovic. Although the VAR will have a look at the incident, Serbia seemingly will be reduced to 10 men, and England now 3 up and a man up as well.
Yeah, that certainly compounds their evening. Really good move to free Kane up. He's got there before Milenkovic. Milenkovic pulled into wide areas, looking very leggy. And Kane is down and he's on his feet, which is good to see, because 1 or 2 of the players, their reaction was very, very concerned.
There's a nasty fall for Kane. Just caught around his knee. And Milenkovic being spoken to by the referee, and being told that the decision isn't going to be reversed. So Milenkovic off, Forest man dismissed, and England 3 up in Serbia. They're just trying to limit the damage from here on in. England are going to be making another double change. I think Bowen and Watkins will be coming on shortly. Kane's back on his feet, he's okay, he's going to be able to continue taking up station on the edge of the D for this England free kick.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to bring some changes, utilise as many changes as you possibly can. A lot of these players have had a good week together, and just to reward 1 or 2 of them with a cap.
So Serbia lining up, defending this with a line of 7 across the edge of the penalty area. The England change hasn't been made as yet. So a chance to flick the ball inside the box. England have got 4 around the edge of the D, all making runs in here. Marcus Rashford is in there. It's played in towards Gahey for 4. It just gets better and better. That's a sublime set piece, and Mark Gahey sliding in, just got the studs of his boot to it and turn it over the line. Serbia 0, England 4, and it is ignition for Project Tuchel.
Beautiful ball in by Declan Rice. He's left it there, and as of Consta's goal, it was the England players that reacted the quickest, and Mark Gahey, from his assist almost earlier, he's certainly got on the score sheet now. Credit to him for it.
Again, the goal is being checked. It looks as though Gahey has come in from an onside position. He's played a part in both of the England goals in this second half, and he too has scored his first goal for his country. 4-0 England. They've scored as many goals in a 45-minute spell tonight as they did in the games at home to Andorra and Albania combined. So England have made the changes. Bowen and Watkins coming on.
Yeah, as I say, good for them. Good to get a good run out, and it gives a break to 1 or 2 players. England's work's done tonight. Wonderful result and good solid performance.
Velkovic has come on for Sivkovic as well. Serbia needed to bring another centre-half into proceedings, really. And so Mark Gahey scoring goal number 4. There's a Serbian supporter had tried to make his way down. He climbed over the red railings and was slowly making his way towards the England fans away to our right. He's now been apprehended, and we won't be watching any more of the game. That England double change, incidentally. Watkins and Bowen on for Kane and Madueke.
As I say, both of those, Harris led the line well, broke the deadlock, and Madueke probably been the standout player. Yeah, and just in front of the England fans is one of the Serbian supporters has done a one-man attack, but luckily for the England fans has not got into the England section.
I think he got his hands on an England shirt, I'm being told, and ripped it in front of the England supporters. England with 13 minutes to go, 4-0 up here in Belgrade. Stunning night. Here's Jed Spence with 13 minutes to go against 10 men. They'll reckon that they can get more yet. Great back heel flick from Bowen. Spence flashes across in. Now Serbia are going to be able to bring it away. Bowen has won it back from Samajic. He plays it to the left-hand side of the penalty area for Rashford. Clever little 1-2 with Bowen. The ball played back in. Couldn't find Rodgers, and Serbia again will be able to whack it away. Mitrovic holding it up, but the whistle has gone for a foul inside the Serbians' penalty area with Pavlovic, the player that has gone down. Well, did you, be honest, remotely see this coming?
Well, I did say to you I thought we'd win 3-1. That's my shout on the way here. I think when we play teams that don't bank up behind the ball and offer us a little bit of space, it certainly improves our performance, and that's been the case tonight. Serbia have offered too much space in the wide areas, left us one-on-one to some of our key players, and they paid the penalty.
4 goals in 42 minutes spell. Serbia 0, England 4, and England will come forward again inside the penalty area, and a chance for 5. Petrovic tips that away. Really well struck effort. Marcus Rashford getting in onto his right foot, flashing it towards goal, and Petrovic diving to his left, strong hand, tipped it round the post.
Top quality wing play there by Rashford, cut inside, beat 2 players and unloaded a shot, and I've got to say, fantastic stop by the Cat, pushed it away for a corner. England have got another opportunity to feed the box.
So another corner prepared. England with 7 forward to attack it. It's their 5th corner of the night. As Jared Bowen has come across to take it right in front of us on the England right. He's worked it short into the feet of Rashford. Back for Bowen again. Outside the penalty area for Rice. Another delivery inside the penalty area. Diving header gets that one away. Comes back out to Anderson. Anderson to Rice again. Now to Rashford. Rashford working it back. Bowen. Anderson. Coming in off the right-hand side of the penalty area. Jared Bowen. Little reverse ball in. It's found its way through the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's clipped back. And Petrovic makes a fine save to deny Rice. And England's 5th.
Serbian back line all over the place now, but I've got to say England's interchange 1 and 2 passing has been superb. Gahey keeping it alive there, and Rice drove it. Petrovic, fantastic stop by him again.
It's now Norway 10, Moldova 1. Tilo Asgard has scored an 11-minute hat-trick, and Haaland has 5. 10-1 to Norway. England, they're going to make another change now before the corner is taken. It's Jordan Henderson that's going to come on, and he'll replace Declan Rice with 10 minutes to go.
I think Thomas Tuchel just rewarding the players for the week they've had away. A couple of clean sheets, 6 points, not bad.
Elsewhere, Portugal 2-1 up in Hungary, and Cristiano Ronaldo's 141st international goal, and the potential winner there with 9 minutes to go. Portugal leading by 2-1. France 2, Iceland 1. They trailed in that. They lead 2-1, but Chouameni has just been sent off. So France down to 10 men. 9 minutes to go. Serbia down to 10 men here, and trailing England by 4-0. Plenty of empty seats around now. In comes this latest England corner, swung at the penalty spot where the bodies went up for it. Gahey couldn't make clean contact. Serbia dig it away and look decidedly lethargic as they push out of the penalty area. Back it goes again to Bowen on the left-hand side of the area, and it is turned into the far post only for the flag to go up. And any thoughts of number 5 are very quickly eradicated. Ollie Watkins just for a moment thought he'd sniffed another England goal, but he made his run too early.
Yeah, he did. Credit to Jarrod Bowen there. He picked the ball up out wide. No one fronted him up, so he thought, you know what, I'm going to drive in the box and shoot. He's just pulled his shot slightly, but Watkins towed it in, but the flag was up.
Well, Serbia have been really poor tonight, but it is worth pointing out that it is a team that have only been beaten once on home soil in 12 games. They hadn't conceded in 5 home matches coming into tonight, and that included a 0-0 draw with Spain. This will be their first home defeat for just a few days short of 2 years since Hungary won here. They hadn't conceded a goal when the deadlock was broken by Harry Kane tonight for just a little less than 6 hours. So whilst they haven't been good, part of that is that England haven't allowed them to be, for all Stuart's misgivings about the way that they have approached this under Dragan Stojkovic tonight. But that's not taking anything away from England. They've won, or will be winning this game, very handsomely indeed, against a side who've been in decent form at home. 4-0 to England. The group, as it stands right now, with Albania still leading Latvia 1-0. England 15 points from 5, Albania 8 from 5, and Serbia 7 from 4. With Latvia and Andorra not going to be troubling anybody. Mitrovic heads the ball on, and it's knocked away by Harry Kane on the edge of his own penalty area. He has dropped deeper and deeper at times tonight. Ball goes out to the left. Work forward again through the England midfield. Down he comes towards Concert. Concert to Spence. Spence towards the edge of the penalty area. And Morgan Rogers have made a run for him. Back for Jordan Henderson. And then Henderson to Gahey. Out to the England left, where they've got a man over again. Ball worked into the feet of Ollie Watkins, who will pick it up and turn it away, finding Rogers. Rogers very cleverly on the half-turn spins and finds Bowen, whose left-footed shot took a couple of deflections. It doesn't quite sit up for him for second bite of the cherry. And Serbia will get it away towards the relative sanctuary of halfway, where Gahey will find Konsa, and he will turn and build forward again, 4-0.
Yeah, as I say, this result just builds a bit of confidence. You know, in 1 or 2 quarters, the performance against Andorra wasn't good enough. And to be fair, the England team, I think this will do the confidence very good. You know, the togetherness, it'll bond them a touch more and give them something to build on next month.
And they haven't taken their foot off the gas. They've just been given a free kick and they've taken it really quickly. They're pushing forward again on the left-hand side of the penalty area, waiting. Watkins trying to find a little bit of space. Comes back to the edge of the box where a right-footed shot from distance from Anderson hit somebody. Might even have been Bowen. And it's clear. Back out for Anderson again. Anderson looking for Bowen on the edge of the D. It's knocked away by Samogic away from him. Down to Jed Spence. Very special night for him. Spence back behind, square to his left. Henderson playing a similar ball out towards Gahey. And they're trying to get Livramento in, but Samogic is back to cover, and he will clip it away left-footed towards halfway. 4-0 to England, 5 minutes to go. Don't forget, check out the TalkSport Daily podcast from 6 a.m. tomorrow on your way to work. A full rundown into this performance, trying to dissect it, what it actually means for England going forward, what the positives are, what they have been in the Thomas Tuchel reign so far, and whether we have tonight seen the blueprint for the way that he's going to be able to attack and beat better sides en route to the World Cup. Well, that's with Stuart and Adrian and myself. The TalkSport Daily podcast, the usual podcast provided tomorrow from 6, as Bowen tries to wriggle his way through, but Lukic can help it away. And then it's played forward again by Mitrovic, Pavlovic, and now Konsa. Gahey sliding back. It's a well-timed challenge to win it back. In fact, the free kick is having been given. The referee has then pulled play back. and there was no advantage to Serbia to give them a free kick a couple of yards in England territory. 4 to go.
Yeah, as I say, England, I mean, looking around the stadium now, the sparseness of the Serbian section tells you everything, what the score is. Literally, there must be a quarter of the people in this stadium now. Everyone's vacated, and England have played their part in moving people out with the scoreline.
Spence got some defending to do as Kostic tries to get past him, and it's come off Spence and goes out of play for a throw. Let's go back to Swansea. Here's Lawrence Mora.
Wales at 0, Canada 1. We've entered the final 5 minutes of the 90, and it's got into a right old kicking match. Both teams getting very feisty off the ball incidents, but Wales looking no further closer to getting an equaliser. And 2 more debutants on, Kai Andrews and Joel Colwill. With 4 minutes to go, it's Wales 0, Canada 1.
Hungary equalised at home to Portugal, only for João Cancelo to go straight down the other end and score. So Portugal leading 3-2 in that game in Budapest. England will try and bring it forward on the counter-attack here with 3 minutes of normal time to go. Ball sprayed wide out towards the left-hand side. Chance for Rashford, little reverse ball. Watkins is in there, and has he been brought down? Referee says no, waves him back to his feet. And Serbia are going to be able to get it away down their right-hand side with Jovic. And he gets it forward towards Mitrovic. The ball out of the left was really poor. He had plenty of time and so much margin for error. But he's just played it straight behind Kostic and out of play for an England throw. Thomas Tuchel, I think, far from happy that the penalty wasn't given by the way of his side for the challenge which came in. Irakovic was the defender involved.
I think we've got a check at the moment, Jim, for this penalty, and I think might well be overturned, this decision, and no penalty.
Well, it's Irakovic on Watkins. Jordan Henderson is now got the captain's armband after Harry Kane has gone off, and he's speaking to Clement Turpin and just discussing the whys and wherefores of the incident. But he's going to come across and have a look at the monitor. And England may well get a chance to wrap this up with goal number 5 from the penalty spot. He's coming across and having a look at an angle. The challenge from Irakovic on Watkins, who just nudged the ball past him. Irakovic clearly makes contact with his right foot, and it is a penalty to England.
Yeah, as I say, good play there by England. Good movement by Ollie Watkins. The reverse pass by Rashford probably induced the penalty in many ways. A little bit short, but Watkins done really well, got first contact, and England have got the opportunity, I think, through Rashford to extend the lead.
Well, Marcus Rashford has the ball in his hand, and he's made his way forward. He's only scored 1 goal in his last 10 internationals, which was, I think, end of 2 years ago against Italy. He has the chance here to net his 18th goal for his country. Be honest, who at the start of the day thought that England might be celebrating a 5-0 win in Belgrade tonight? That could come to fruition. Rashford has spotted the ball down, has taken 4 hefty steps back to the edge of the penalty area. He's addressing the ball very square at the moment, but will take a few steps to the side, which he does now, and then runs up. He's against Petrovic, a stuttering run up, and rolls it past him into the bottom left-hand corner. And England, with a 5-star performance, have a 5-0 lead in Belgrade against a side who are almost in the top 20 in the world rankings.
Yeah, as I say, I think the statement you made after the Andorra game probably rings true again tonight. You know, the result against Andorra will not dictate how well or badly we do at the World Cup next year. You know, same with this result. It's a great result. It's a building block definitely for us, but the acid test is up ahead. But there's a lot of players can come away from this, especially I'm going to name Madueke as one of them. He's had a very good couple of games.
It's not a result that cements qualification for England, but all the building blocks are in place now. Played 5, won 5, scored 13, conceded none. We've got 2 minutes of stoppage time left. England leading by 5 goals to 0. 5 different goal scorers tonight as well. And Petrovic races out of his penalty area and sweeps this away. England almost there, not quite there, but almost there. But it's all about the performance tonight. It's not the result necessarily. The 3 points are huge, that goes without saying, within the context of the qualification group. But it's the level of performance, the way that they have been able to come away from home and get the job done. But it's the confidence that this will instill in the players, and maybe to a large extent the confidence that will instill in the fans in what Thomas Tuchel is hoping to do, trying to do, the way that he's going about it. That's probably the biggest takeaway tonight.
Yeah, totally agree with you. As I say, I think Tuchel handled the press pretty well after the Andorra game. The criticism, I thought, was a bit over the top in certain quarters. I thought Andorra played extremely well and defended well, and when you see the levels of defending from Serbia, I think Andorra's defending was a lot better than that and made it more difficult for us, and certainly Serbia have on their own field.
Jed Spence with a long diagonal ball out of the England left. There's about 40 seconds of stoppage time to go. In fact, the referee has decided that... Oh, no, he hasn't. There was a full-time whistle in the crowd. I thought it was all over. Still about 35 seconds to go, and we do carry on. So England still with an opportunity potentially to score a 6. There was a little bit of Serbian wishful thinking that the night could be brought to an end prematurely. Pickford getting it forward for Konsa. Down towards Spence again. Spence controls it, lays it back inside his own half for Konsa to Gahey. Really in the last knockings now as the ball is worked out to the England left. Jordan Henderson drives it down towards Jed Spence. Is his going to be the last touch of the night in an England shirt? Not quite. It's played forward towards Bowen, and it is he that gets that honour. A stunning performance and a quite magnificent victory for Thomas Tuchel's England. 5-0 away to Serbia in what, on paper at least, is the most difficult game in the group. It is a test they have passed with flying colours, and this is the night that Tuchel's England reign has really ignited. Kane and Madueke with 2 quick-fire goals just past the half-hour mark. Konsa and Gahey added their first for their country. Rashford nonchalantly rolled in a late penalty. Everything that could have gone England's way tonight has done. How different the feeling 72 hours on from Villa Park, and that laborious performance against Andorra, where maybe there were just the odd sign of what he wanted to do, although the England players couldn't execute it. Tonight, plenty of signs as the way forward. The blueprint has been laid against the Balkans in blue against them tonight. England magnificent, Serbia 0, England 5.
Well, that was sensational, and if you want to talk about it as much as you wanted to talk about how poor England might have been on Saturday against Andorra, then please get your calls in. Sports Bar will be waiting for them at 10 o'clock on TalkSport. Jamie O'Hara, Jason Gundy, 03717 223344. And as the England players down on the pitch make their way over to the corner to salute the England fans who got behind them from the very first moment they took to the pitch to warm up, and those England fans who were respectful during the minute's silence before kick-off, those England fans who sang the national anthem and supported their team, this is what they want. This is what those England fans want. They want to dominate. They want goals. They want clean sheets. They want good football. It's exactly what has been delivered. And maybe, just maybe, everybody was asking for it a little bit too soon from Thomas Tuchel. He's only just got in position. And this, if they carry on like this is what we want. This could well lead to something very, very special next summer. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The group looks like this. England are virtually there in Group K. Albania beat Latvia 1-0 to go second, but England are 7 points clear of Albania in second place in the group. England 15 from 5. They haven't even conceded a goal in those 5 wins. They have scored 12 goals. Remarkable. Albania in second, 7 points behind. Then Serbia on 7, Latvia on 4, Andorra yet to get off the mark. I make it that if England's win in Riga against Latvia next month, then that's it. They have qualified for the World Cup. and they've still got games to spare after that. We'll reflect on this brilliant England performance with Stuart Pearce in just a moment. Let's get full time though from Swansea in the Wales friendly. Lawrence Moore.
Yeah, it finished Wales 0, Canada 1. Craig Bellamy's first international friendly ends in defeat. It's the first time in 7 games that Wales have failed to score, and the game was settled by a stunning first half free kick by Glasgow Rangers new centre-back signing Derek Cornelius. 25 yards out, up and over the wall and into the top corner. Wales played 5 teenagers tonight. There were debuts for Cardiff City's Ronan Capaccio and Joel Colwell, Coventry's Kai Andrews, and a first start for Leeds' Charlie Crew. There were chances tonight for Brooks, Crew and Dan James, but Canada, they're a very decent and very physical side. The match certainly wasn't played as a friendly, both teams firing into each other. Host of bookings on another night, we definitely could have had a couple of reds. Wales in particular losing their heads somewhat towards the end of the game. I'm sure Craig Bellamy will feel he's had a really good workout for his team tonight. Next up, England at Wembley before a huge qualifier against Belgium at the Cardiff City Stadium. That's going to be October at the Swansea.com Stadium. It finished Wales 0, Canada 1.
And here in Belgrade, live on TalkSport, it finished Serbia 0, England 5. And just a little caveat to that England qualification scenario. Serbia, of course, have played a game fewer, so not quite as clear-cut. But judging by tonight's performance, Stuart Pearce, Serbia are not going to threaten anybody at the top of the group. England are virtually there. They're as good as there. What a performance that was. Superb, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I mean, we wanted a performance with goals, up-tempo, and I think we got that. We had punch in the wide areas, which I think playing this formation is vitally important. I think that is the key to this formation. And the players will come away from both games and think to themselves, yeah, listen, we've had a good international break and let's come back, and they'll be looking forward to coming back next month.
The reality with England is, and you know better than anybody, the scrutiny is phenomenal. It's bigger than anything else. England is bigger than anything else. Whatever anybody says when they say club before country and all that, whatever England do is monitored so closely. And so therefore the scrutiny is there and the criticism is there. And sometimes that criticism is understandable. When England play badly, people will say, I think England have played badly. When they play brilliantly like tonight, guess what they're going to say? They played brilliantly. I want more of that. You can't always replicate that. But this was a big statement, I think, from Thomas Tuchel, wasn't it?
I think it was a big statement in regard to the pressure that the team and the manager were under in some ways. I think Tuchel's been around the block long enough. I listened to him in his press conferences as we did last night, and he's been around the block. He understands the game. He don't get too excited or downcast. I don't think he's that way inclined. But they went into the game under a bit of pressure in a hostile environment, and they've come away with a 5-0 victory. That takes some doing, Aid.
4 of the 5 goals were from set pieces. A couple of really good deliveries from Declan Rice leading to goals among those assists. For me, that's not a problem. I mean, this is who cares how you score a goal as long as it goes in. I think Thomas Tuchel has recognised that this could be the way forward for this England side.
Well, we saw England's best, most fluent football probably come at the end of the game. I know the Serbs were down to 10 men. I know that they had their hearts broken at that stage. But the only reason you can play like that is because you've scored 2 or 3 goals in advance of that, and all of a sudden everyone wants a touch of the ball because the pressure's off. So, listen, you can't knock that. It was a faultless performance, a 5-0, a clean sheet. Pickford decided to get a little bit bored and get involved, but we managed to clear up the odd error that we saw coming in the first half. It just took a while to come, so we're all happy. Well,
you mentioned Jordan Pickford, and I do want to talk about this because I think there's 2 sides to this. We've gone 10 hours without conceding a goal in competitive football. The only goals England conceded were against Senegal, and Dean Henderson was in goal. So Jordan Pickford is part of that. Yet again, though, it's another game where the opposition didn't have a shot on target. He isn't being tested. And I think there's only 2 things that you can have concerns about with Jordan Pickford. For me, there's no dispute. He is England's number 1. I don't think there's a little bit of competition from Dean Henderson, but I think he's the undisputed number 1. It'd be a massive shock if he were to be replaced as England goalkeeper between now and the World Cup. But I want you to elaborate on what you just said there about that little moment where he kind of made a pass out. It was very sloppy. Also, he is only 6 foot, and I think the keepers these days are usually bigger than that. Nothing he can do about that. given that height, he's still a brilliant goalkeeper. But that was really sloppy, and he can't afford to be doing that, can he?
No, all it is, in all honesty, it's boredom. He gets bored at the back because there's nothing going on. So he gets a really advanced position as a goalkeeper and wants more of the ball. He receives the ball and he wants to hang on to the ball instead of feeding it straight to one of your defenders that's on and said, right, OK, you get on with the game. If you need me, I'm here, I'm your goalkeeper, but I don't want to be front and centre of attention. I think there's just that little bit of boredom factor with him that he has to get involved and has to take the odd chance because he's hung on to the ball a little bit too long, eh? I saw it coming in the first half.
You did flag
That's
it up,
why
yeah.
I pre-warned you that I thought something of that nature was coming. Luckily for him, the ball didn't end up in the net. If you're his goalkeeping coach, say, listen, you've had a good game, you've had nothing to do. That's perfect for us. Keep it that way.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the more games we have where the opposition don't get a shot on target, I'm happy because it means they are highly unlikely to score. If we just go through the goals very quickly again, England went one up just after the half-hour mark. It was a Declan Rice corner. It was a Harry Kane header. And actually, from a Harry Kane point of view, I thought he was really good today. And his movement was really good, but he was in the right place, right time, totally unmarked in the box, which is ridiculous. And he's got down well to steer it home, really.
Well, we're looking at the replay here. How do you not mark Harry Kane with 73 goals in an England shirt? You let him stand on the edge of the box, defender wrong side of him, and he just ambles in the box. He doesn't get off the ground. He skews his body and heads it in from the penalty spot. It is woeful defending. And when I said to Jim earlier, Andorra wouldn't have let that happen. And that's why I find it a little bit harsh that people knock England's performance against Andorra, because England didn't have the opportunities and the space like we did tonight, Jim.
And they had the warning as well from that set piece, because the previous corner that had come in, they hadn't picked him up then either. And he'd taken up station about 16 yards from the goal line. His first step is backwards. Nobody goes with him, and that gives him a chance to get some momentum and have the run. Now, they couldn't find him with the first ball that was played in, but Rice did with the second.
Ollie Watkins only got 15 minutes. Bearing in mind the game was won just after half-time, is that enough? Should he be getting more game time?
It's a difficult one because you've just finished glorifying about Harry Kane, who wants to be on the pitch and wants to score the goals. And to be fair, it's a like for like, really, isn't it? So you're going to be taking Harry Kane off. Do you do that at half-time? The game's not won there. You know, Ollie Watkins will turn around and say, yes, I need more game time, but it's good to see him on the pitch. He's induced a penalty, which helped get the fifth goal, so that was a real bonus. Yeah,
hit the net as well, but it was disallowed. Second goal, it's all about the Morgan Rogers touch. And Madueke was a terrific performance tonight, and he gets the goal. The Morgan Rogers touch really, for me, it puts him right in a strong position. He's got a strong claim to be a starter for England, to be a number 10 for England. He's a really good footballer. Yeah, it's like a lot of these players, they need to be given confidence in certain positions, you know. Only a few months ago we were revering the likes of Foden and Cole Palmer to play in that position. Tonight, if you're not here and someone else is wearing the shirt, this is what happens, you know. He's done himself no harm at all in this team performance. He's played his part in it. And as I say, Rogers, wonderful little deft flick. And when Madueke goes in behind that back line, you're never catching him. It's a lovely goal, isn't it? From back to front, it's just lovely football from England. This is what they want. Well, what we want is forward passing. You know what I mean? I think that's what was missing a little bit. Forthright passing against Andorra. I think we saw a bit more of it here. The opposition allowed us to play a little bit more that way, I think. Yeah, it's a really lovely goal, the second one. And then 5-6 minutes into the second half, there's a scramble. The keeper makes an error from the long-range shot, and Ezri Konsa capitalises for a goal for England. Yeah, he does. What I like about it, there's England shirts reacting to the ball coming across the box. The blue shirts don't. They hold a line. All of a sudden, it's 2-3 England players reacting quickly between the goalposts. And Konsa done well, actually, to just get it in from a very tight angle. Just does Harry Kane do really well as well? Because I think he might be called offside. If he goes for the ball, he might be called offside. He's offside when the shot comes in. But it looks like he leaves it, because I thought he might just have lunged for it, but is he really smart and just leaves it because he knows he's offside? Well, at this stage, after a 5-0 victory, I'm not going to suggest that Harry Kane is going to be selfish enough to go for the ball. He's that clever as a player and that good as a player.
for him to have left that, if he did, and I'm going to give him credit for it, he's kept himself onside and ruled in the goal.
I'm going to hold my hands up here. I think I was too harsh on Mark Gahey at the weekend with the marks. So
no.
I always hold my hands up when I know I've got it wrong. I rewatched the games and I got that one wrong. And he's come back and he's answered me with a goal tonight and an assured performance again at the back. But I love how strong he is to hold off his man and then make sure he gets the touch on Declan Rice's free kick to put it in the back of the net. I think it's a terrific goal.
I've been raving about this kid for the best part of a year. You know I have. I think if England are going to be successful going forward, he can stay in the team and he can keep doing what he's doing, all well and good.
Let's go down to Faye Carruthers here in Belgrade. She's with Harry Kane.
That's free, I told you.
Harry, congratulations. What a performance that was. I can see the smile on your face already. Celebrations all round in the dressing room.
Yeah, big credit to the boys. What a night for us. I mean, we made it look easy in the end, but we know how difficult these games can be. From start to finish, I thought we was the team on the front foot. With the ball, without the ball, we made it difficult for them, and then we took our moments. And credit to all the boys. It's been a fantastic week. I said yesterday, I've been really happy with the atmosphere, the energy in training, and I think we showed that today. You
used the word aggressive in terms of identity yesterday. Did it feel like that right from the first whistle?
I think so. I think the way we pressed, we really put them under pressure, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to take the game to them. We know physically we're in a really good place. When we had 1v1s in the match with our wingers, with our number 10s like Morgan, they can cause a lot of problems, and that's exactly what happened. So there's going to be games where we'll play different opponents and different styles, but ultimately that's how we want to play. We want to play on the front foot. We have the players to do it, we have the physical attributes to do it, and hopefully today was just the start of many more performances like that.
It's been a long time since it's just been your name pretty much on the score sheet. Now it feels as if the team are all chipping in with goals. How important is that?
100%. I've said, throughout my whole England career, especially when you get to like major tournaments, you need defenders popping up, you need set pieces. We've been working hard on set pieces. We haven't quite scored in the last few games. And Paul, the set piece coach, I know has been waiting for that one. I think we scored a few there today. So, in these type of games, you need different ways to score. And I thought all aspects of it was fantastic. So, credit to everyone.
Jim Proudfoot on commentary said, "This is lift-off. We have ignition in Thomas Tuchel's camp now." Did you feel that in this match? Do you feel as if this is the springboard now?
I'm not sure. I think I said yesterday, we know what we're doing from the inside. We know how hard we're working, how we're training, the energy in training, and even the games we've played so far, we've been very comfortable. And that's not always the case. I know people maybe expect 5 goals every game against different opponents, but for sure. Tonight, people knew it was going to be a tough game. I think we showed, the level we can go. But ultimately, I think ever since Thomas has come in, we've been building. We're not going to get carried away. We'll enjoy this win as we should. But this is, hopefully just a benchmark for many more performances like this.
Just finally, how much of a statement is it? We talked about the noise around the camp. We know that we're going to have that all the way up until you head out to North America. How much of a statement is it and a message? Yeah, for sure. We need more performances like this, especially when you're leading into major tournaments. Not everything's going to be perfect. I said yesterday again that everyone's going to have their opinions. That's part and parcel of being an England player. People want their favourite player to play in this formation, and ultimately, even when we was with Gareth, it's about just keeping it inside, keeping it, what we want to do, what we want to achieve. We want to make the fans proud. We made them proud there today for the guys and girls who travelled. And that's what we want to see. We want to see smiles on people's faces. But ultimately, we're always going to be judged on the major tournament. So from now until then, it's just we just have to build. And now we're in a great position to qualify. And I said finally, but actually remiss of me not even to talk about your goal. What are we, on 74 now? You're notching them up. 74. It's nice. Nice to get on the score sheet today. I always feel I can be a threat. I always feel I can get chances. It was nice to get to 74. Let's see how many more we can get. Congratulations. Thanks, Harry. Cheers. Thank you. That's Harry Kane, the captain, live here in Belgrade on TalkSport after England won 5-0. Yes, there was a lot of negativity. Yes, there was criticism. They've answered the critics with a 5-0 win, and they're totally and utterly in command in Group K. You can get your calls into the sports bar. 03717 22 33 44 is the number to call. It's kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes 18+.
gambleaware.org. And I would say we've got more reaction coming up very, very shortly from the England camp. So just stay with us before the sports bar hits you. Let's go down to the tunnel again. Ezri Konsa, another goal scorers with Faye Carruthers.
Yeah, we just had a very sweaty handshake. It's so hot here in Belgrade. It is. What was it like out on the pitch?
Yeah, it was tough. I didn't expect it to be this hot. Coming off the plane yesterday, it was very hot. So, it's always tough playing in these kind of conditions. But, we showed our level today. We showed what we can do, and, very happy for the boys.
Very happy for yourself as well. Look, I know it's a team performance, but come on, your first England goal. I can see the smile on your face.
Of course. It's a moment I've jumped off since I was a kid, so for it to actually happen, and my family watching back home, it's definitely a proud moment for me, and a night that I'll never forget.
That was a proper striker's goal as well. You're in the right place.
Definitely. Learning from the best, Harry Kane. I've always seen him not finish in training, so as soon as it dropped to me, I thought, let me just shoot, and thank God it went in.
It did, and it was a brilliant finish as well. But the all-round performance was excellent. So many plaudits. Toughest game in the group. It felt like a real statement performance.
Yeah, like I said, look, I think we showed our level today. Everybody knows how many good players we have, the players that we have, and leading up to the game today, I thought we've had a great week in camp. And it just showed today. Look, winning against Andorra also, never an easy game. There's never an easy game, especially coming away from home to a place like this. We always knew it was going to be difficult, but look, we focused on ourselves all week and we got the win today.
It feels like there's a real togetherness in the side as well. For you personally, obviously the goal is to get out to North America and be on the plane for the World Cup. How confident do you feel about that with the performances you're consistently putting in now for England?
Yeah, I think for me, like you said, it's all about consistency. I know I need to keep performing at club level, in order to be on that plane. So for me, look, I've shown my level, I've shown what I can do, and now it's time to go back to club and go again.
Well done tonight, Ezri.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I won't shake your hand again.
No.
Sweaty. Sorry.
See you later. Take care.
She wouldn't mind at all. But Ezri Konsa, I love that. It's something you dream of as a kid. And I said it before on Saturday that these players love playing for England, and they absolutely do. And that kind of proves the point, really. Thomas Tuchel, Stuart Pearce, just very quickly. And finally, from us here in Belgrade, how's he feeling right now? We'll hear from him on the sports bar, but how's he feeling right now?
Well, listen, it's a good evening for him, no doubt about that. For his team and our team to come here and win 5-0, some result, that is quite an incredible result. This is a tough place to come. And we went from the first moment, we dictated the pace of the game, we dominated the football, and we got the goals that probably our play deserved.
You and I and Jim Proudfoot will be sticking around recording our podcast, the TalkSport Daily, which will be available from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You're also on the breakfast show tomorrow at Stuart Pearce. Busy, man. It's been a great trip, hasn't it?
It's been super. It really has. We love following England, and it's a passion and a pride.
And we'll be doing it next month away to Latvia. And I've just worked out the maths. It could be that by the time England kick off in Latvia, they will know that a win will secure qualification for the World Cup next summer. But here tonight, England's superb against the Serbs on the brink of qualification with games to spare. Tuchel's team don't concede. Tuchel's team scores goals. Tuchel's team wins games. If this is Tuchel ball, I'm here for it. So is TalkSport. The Sports Bar is next. 03717 223344. A 5-goal statement win. And as Harry Kane told TalkSport a moment ago here in Belgrade, what a night for England.